was terrible to see yesterday and out of nowhere, but the great Andre Braugher, the intense actor who won an Emmy for Homicide, Life on the Street, and demonstrated his range in the comedy series Brooklyn Nine-Nine, passed away. He was 61 years old, and apparently was due to what's being called a brief illness.
Yeah.
We don't know what that is yet. He was amazing. He amassed dozens of credits in movies and television after a stunning debut as a sensitive soldier in the 1989 film Glory, which he was incredible in. He followed that by playing baseball great Jackie Robinson in the TV movie The Court Martial of Jackie Robinson before landing his featured role in Homicide, which is an adaptation of David Simon's book about Baltimore detectives, of course. And he won an Emmy for that as Detective Frank Pembleton. He remained much in demand after that series, co-starred in the movie Primal Fear, as well as Spike Lee's Get on the Bus. He was in the sci-fi thriller Frequency and starred in his own series called Gideon's Crossing. He earned his second Emmy in 2006 for the FX miniseries Thief, amassing 11 nominations overall.
Yeah, the dude was phenomenal. He was also in, Preston, The Mist.
The Mist, yeah, you're right. He was also a lot of other TV shows, Men of a Certain Age, and then he played, of course, on Brooklyn Nine-Nine as Captain Ray Holt. That ran for 8 seasons, and he received Emmy nominations for those shows. Terry Crews, his co-star on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, took to Instagram, and he was just shattered by it. He said, "I can't believe you're gone so soon. I'm honored to have known you, laughed with you, worked with you, shared 8 glorious years watching your irreplaceable talent. This hurts. You left us too soon. You taught me so much. I'll be forever grateful for the experience of knowing you. Thank you for your wisdom, your advice, your kindness, and your friendship. Deepest condolences to your wife and family in this difficult time. You showed me what a life well lived looked like." He was born in Chicago, graduated from Stanford, and he went to Juilliard. As well. He was the real deal.
We had him on the show a couple times. I actually got to shake his hand. It was the year that Glory came out, and somehow I got invited to a film awards in Manhattan, and Denzel was there. And he was young there, but in Glory, which is one of the seminal movies for me, it's just amazing.
Everybody's incredible.
So amazing.
He is,
and he is the counter to Denzel's character, and they both see each other's humanity by the end of the movie, which is so beautiful.
Couple of clips. This is from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Captain Holt. Here we go.
Do you want to know how I actually hurt my wrist?
Yes.
I was hula hooping. Kevin and I attended class for fitness and for fun.
Oh, my God.
I've mastered all the moves. The pizza toss, the tornado, the scorpion, the oopsie doodle.
Why are you telling me this?
Because no one will ever believe you.
You sick son of a bitch.
He is so good. His voice, his delivery. It's so rich.
That role alone is so brilliant for somebody you know for being so intense and powerfully dramatic.
Yeah.
And he savored being able to be comedic on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Here's a clip from him on Homicide.
What are you doing tonight?
I'm gonna pay some bills, maybe.
You want to come over for dinner?
Want me to what?
Have dinner with me. Pasta, salad, dinner.
At your house. You want me to come over to your house and have dinner with you? That's what you're asking me.
Never mind.
No, Frank, listen to me. I'd love to come over and to have dinner at your house.
Okay, 8:30.
You want me to bring something? Maybe. I know you don't drink wine, but maybe Mary would like to have some wine.
Mary won't be there.
She won't.
No.
Why not?
Mary left me.
He's such a great actor.
Yeah.
I love that show. Steve, I was thinking about with Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like I can't think of, and I'm sure you can, but I can't think of like somebody who delivers lines that way in such a straight manner. There's no punchline. There's no setup.
No.
And he's playing opposite Andy Samberg, who's such a goofball and so silly. And Brower's just straight ahead, but you still laugh really hard.
There was an episode, Preston, of that, speaking of that fact, Nick, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where there is this guy, this new quasi-intern is coming to the precinct, and Holt goes, he's hitting on me like crazy. It's insane. And he's not. You can't. There's no visible sign. And then 3/4 of the way through the episode, he admits that he is. And they all look at him and goes, "I told you."
So sad. 61 years old, man. I'm very curious as to what took him, how he went so quickly, or has
way
this
too
been
young.
around?
Yeah.
Now, speaking of people having medical issues, Kate Micucci,
Yes.
Big Bang Theory alum and part of Garfunkel Oates, we've had her on the program many times,
Love her.
is unraveling the mysteries of a recent medical diagnosis. She revealed that she recently underwent surgery after being diagnosed with lung cancer. And she posted a TikTok video, and we have the audio of that, and this is her.
This is not a TikTok, it's a sick talk. I'm in the hospital because I had lung cancer surgery yesterday. It's pretty weird because I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. So, you know, it was a surprise, but also I guess it happens. And so the greatest news is they caught it early, they got it out, I'm all good. But it's been a little bit of a trip.
Yeah, she said probably be moving slow for a few weeks, but I'll be back at it. Can't wait to be painting some more, she said.
And so, you know, it's the same scenario that eventually took Andy Kaufman. He had lung cancer and he never smoked.
I have no idea if it's the same type that he had or not, but it's just kind of out of the blue. And so her comment section obviously was full of well wishes from fans, and we would like to echo all that because she's a sweet person. Man.
Yeah.
She's really, really cool and very funny and really talented. So hopefully they got everything out of the way. We will see. Better news. Hillary Duff revealed on Instagram Tuesday she is pregnant with her 4th child.
Whoa!
Yeah, she shared that her family's holiday card, which included a photo of herself holding her baby bump and text that reads, "Buckle up, buttercups. We're adding one more to this crazy bunch." And
You know, this part of the holiday joy, Preston, is getting cards in the mail and trying to count how many kids I don't know in the pictures I'm receiving.
I've always said, I mean, you know, at least put yourself in there as well. I don't know your children.
Who is this? And it wouldn't help. It wouldn't hurt to pop the names underneath.
That'd be nice too.
Oh, for me, it's a game. I try not to look at the return address, and I open it up and see if I can identify the kids.
Okay, so just by their face, and if there's any similarities to the parents.
Well,
okay.
and and if there's no kids, I mean, if there's no parents in the pictures, no adults, I open it up, cover the name, and I'm like, do I know this family?
Well, fortunately, she was in this picture, but she captioned the post, "Surprise, surprise." She and her husband, Matthew, already share 2 daughters together. She shares her son with her ex-husband, Mike Comrie. So she's got another. I can't believe Lizzie McGuire is having her 4th kid. Wow. Here's another story in that same line. E! News reports that Adam Driver and his wife, Joanne Tucker, have privately welcomed their 2nd child to the world. The two of them met at Juilliard. They were married in 2013. They had their first child in 2016. So they have added yet another one. No word on sex or name or any of that stuff or weight, none of it. But maybe we'll find out down the road. Interesting and fun story out of Emma Stone. She had the unfortunate accident just days before her wedding to Dave McCary in 2020. She was on the Smartless podcast and revealed that she said, "The week that I got married, I opened a refrigerator and the handle broke off and I got a black eye." I guess either the handle came up and hit her or the door did. I don't know what. And co-host Stephen Hayes said that she needs a helmet. And she replied, "I need a helmet and extensive therapy as well."
You show up at your wedding with a black eye and everyone is going to think, abusive relationship. Yeah.
But I guess maybe she's a bit of a klutz. I'm not really sure, but that apparently had happened to her. Here's a follow-up from a story we had yesterday. Alyssa Milano's mother, Lynn Milano, is denying Shannon Doherty's recent claims that she and Alyssa blocked Doherty from visiting her charmed co-star Holly Marie Combs in the hospital during the 2nd season of the show.
Of course.
Lynn told TMZ she is sad that the Beverly Hills 90210 star feels this way and that she wishes her the best as she battles stage 4 cancer. But
I have an observation about all this, Preston.
Yes.
I love the taste of Milano cookies.
Oh, yeah. Those are good.
Yeah.
I will, I
you
concur.
agree?
I concur, sir.
So we put this issue to bed.
There's good variety in there too, Steve, because you can get the mint Milano,
which are excellent.
You can get the double chocolate Milano,
which are excellent.
You can get the dark chocolate Milano.
The Troika's all great.
I don't think I've had the mint Milano.
Oh, they're phenomenal.
Think of After 8.
Okay.
Yeah, that sort of vibe.
Yeah, they have that thin slice of chocolate in the middle there.
Damn good.
It's going to be my regular Saturday night then.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah. We had to do that at the same time as that guy. Oh, yeah. Right. Amanda Bynes revealed she had cosmetic surgery on her eyelids. She said in a selfie video posted to her Instagram story, "So I saw a couple of stories online that say I have a new look and I was never open about this before, but I actually had blepharoplasty, I think is how you pronounce this, surgery on the skin folds in the corners of my eyes. She said it was one of the best things that I could have done for my self-confidence, and it made me feel a lot better in my skin. I just wanted to post about this just to clear up the rumors as to why I have a new look. It's unclear when the actress who has been in and out of mental health facilities this year had the procedure done.
Is that medical or is that cosmetic?
She's making it sound like it's cosmetic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So her parents,
Unless she was tripping on her lids.
her parents, Lynn and Rick Bynes, previously raised concerns about their daughter's plans to get plastic surgery when they placed her under conservatorship in 2013. In the court filing then, they claimed that she would talk incessantly about cosmetic surgeries and that she wanted completed and encouraged her mother to have plastic surgeries. Her conservatorship ended in March of 2022 after nearly 9 years. And of course, a year later, she was found roaming the streets in L.A. naked before being placed on her first of multiple psychiatric holds this year alone. At that time, her ex-fiance, Paul Michael, had claimed that she had stopped taking her medication before her episode. She was placed on a second psychiatric hold in June before checking herself into an intensive patient mental health treatment center in July. Her return to social media follows news that she was teaming up with a pal whom she met in treatment for a new podcast. So the first episode of the Amanda Bynes and Paul Saminsky podcast features an interview with an LA-based tattoo artist named Dahlia Moth. And per the announcement on Instagram, Amanda and her co-host plan to interview their friends before reaching out to celebrities.
Also, I don't think it's the eye thing that's making her look so different. It's just her overall look. I mean, maybe a little bit of the eyes.
Her hair
but
is platinum blonde. She's got that nose ring.
Yeah.
But whatever the case, she seems to be a bit better. She's going to get rid of that heart tattoo, by the way, on her cheek. That's one of the episodes of the podcast.
Yeah.
I think she has had her way with that. Also, the jet black eyebrows.
Also, they're in a better picture. They're blue.
They're blue.
Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
So I was talking. I was listening. They're very different things. To an actor, Alan Ritchson, who plays Jack Reacher in the series that's on Amazon Prime, and he's bipolar, and he talks about the way. That people say, well, just just be thankful for all you have, and he was trying to explain it like in a timeline, and the way he describes somebody who might be in Amanda Bynes' mind and his is so alien to us that any way we try to process it will not work.
It's very hard to understand, and just hope that she, continues to get the treatment and care that she needs and can live the best life that she can live, hopefully. So a couple other things to mention. This is really cool. 45 years after the sitcom Taxi premiered on ABC, the cast reunited on The View. Danny DeVito, Tony Danza, Christopher Lloyd, Judd Hirsch, Mary Lou Henner, and Carol Kane all got together again to celebrate the milestone on Monday.
It's a great sitcom.
DeVito said, for us, from the first day, the first moment we got together, it was like family. We were hugging, kissing the first day, and we didn't even really know each other. We read the script, and everyone was falling into place. It was miraculous, but we appreciated it and never took it for granted, and we always felt like the work was the most important thing.
Did they have any insight as to why Tony Danza has become such a bastard?
No. I don't think they covered that on The View that morning, but...
Let me ask you.
Yeah, it remains to be seen. Who knows? Steve, I'm sure you saw this, but Warner Brothers released the new trailer for Dune Part 2.
Really?
It is awesome. It showcases, in part, the romance between Zendaya's character Chani and Timothée Chalamet's Paul. The trailer also provides a glimpse at Christopher Walken as Emperor Shaddam IV and Florence Pugh's Princess Irulan, and Austin Butler's Fade Routha Harkonnen, which looks...
Man, does he look good.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Dune Part 2 is set to hit theaters on March 1st of 2024. I'm excited.
When they use the word visionary when describing a director and the film, that would be this.
Yeah.
The original Dune, all of the choices that were made were amazing. Going with more real sets, practical sets, and at least, desert scenes, locations. I think it all works so well.
I watched that first one, I kid you not, beginning to end at least 10 times by now.
Likewise.
Like it was kind of a go-to. Nothing else is on. All right, I'm putting Dune on. I just love that movie. And also on Tuesday, Netflix dropped a teaser trailer for the third season of Bridgerton. The series is set to premiere in 2 parts.
You still dialed into that, Kathy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm up to date. It's been a little while, so I'll watch this. Yeah.
The first part will be available on the platform May 16th, and the second part will be available on June 13th, which is cool because that's not too big of a spread.
Yeah.
Too far. Yeah, I don't mind the 2-part, but when they spread it out and it's so long, it's like you forget about what happened.
I get angry.
Yeah.
F you and your show.
What is this one focusing on? Does it say?
It doesn't say.
Penises.
I don't know. Not really sure on this one, Kat.
No, because when what's his name left, they then focused on the brother
Right.
and his relationship. So
I think this is his dry cleaner.
okay.
2 more quick things. Netflix's reality dating experience, Love is Blind, has been renewed for 2 more seasons.
My fiance loves
Dude, so does Rochelle, man.
Wait, what? I need to get in on this.
You know the
baby.
conceit on this one, don't you, Kathy?
Yeah.
And Preston, maybe Andrea and Rochelle can have a conversation about it. But what she really likes is the writing, so to speak, on the show is good. Like, they set up the characters really well, and they're people that you root for that turn out to be villains, and people that are idiots initially, and you're like, oh, I kind of like this person by the end. It's typical reality TV, but for whatever reason, for them, it works.
If there is any wedge that is settling in my marriage, it's the TV shows that my wife watches.
Yeah.
Because I have no interest.
Love is Blind doesn't work for you?
Love is Blind, 90 Day Fiance, Pussy Island, whatever that show's called, Fantasy, the Super Hot People Island.
Love Island.
Love Island.
Right.
What
about my
Sister Wives? Oh my God.
Does she watch my 600-pound life?
Sometimes stuff like that.
Pimple Popper?
No, not Pimple Popper. Not Pimple
you know what?
Popper.
I'm not into the quote reality shows though. Like I need a little story.
Right. You need a little Bridgerton.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. Shell and Andrea can. We need our own activity, Nick, while they're watching that.
Yeah.
We got to
Porn.
get something together.
You
We
can do like the
porn.
autofocus scene.
Yeah, just sit together and watch porn. I'm
do
sorry.
that
Yeah, you can.
All right, so it is going to return on Valentine's Day. Season 6 relocates the pods to Charlotte, North Carolina, as a new group of singles hope to get engaged without ever seeing their partner in person. And after the pod dating ends in proposals, the engaged couples go on vacation, they move in together, and they plan their weddings as the cameras follow them to document everything. When their weddings arrive, each person will have to decide whether they say I do or I don't at the altar. And of course, it's hosted by Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey, and they'll be back for season 6 and 7.
Correction, Preston, it's Valentine's.
Oh,
Day.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jackie.
They're good hosts. Nick Lachey and Vanessa Manola, they do a really good job driving it forward.
Okay. All right, and one last thing.
Just a quick question here. So do all the contestants on that show, they agree to be blinded?
Yes, they get stabbed with a hot poker.
Yes. By the way, congratulations to the Uzaki family for winning the trophy
Oh, they
on
did?
last night's episode of the Great Christmas Light Parade.
So glad I watched it.
Did you?
Yeah.
They brought it home for the entire South Jersey and Philly
Nice.
community. Hundreds of guests came out to Glow Light Show last night for the viewing party.
So they got everything back up and running then.
I guess so.
Well,
yeah.
the two things, there was their home, and then I think this other attraction.
Well, no, Glow is their business that
Right.
got vandalized. Remember, and they
Right.
they
and that's where
pulled
they
all
had the viewing party.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
So last night. So Dan, Kim, Charlie, and Chase and Deptford Dazzling Lights presented a video game 80s themed light show at their home in Deptford. And most pieces have now been moved to Glow, by the way. They used the $50,000 prize money to help create Glow. That's so apparently, I guess maybe they filmed this.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
A
As
while
part of
back.
it.
Yeah.
And so they already knew that they won. So they set it up to make Glow even bigger and better. And this is because Dan and his family live and breathe and love Christmas and wanted to spread Christmas joy to the community all these years.
You know, I want the trophy that they give out, which is like a Christmas bulb.
So they're
Looks
going
really
to
cool.
They're going to feature that at Glow.
Oh, nice.
That's where they're going to put that into the presentation there. So congratulations. And did I say that right? Uzaki family, or is it Uzaki? I'm not really sure.
It was Uzaki, I believe. Yeah.
All right. Congratulations, guys. That's huge. And we're very, very happy for you. All right. We are ready for clips. Marissa, drum roll, please. All right, Poor Things tells the story of a young woman brought back to life and grows steadfast in her purpose to stand for equality and liberation. In this clip, Emma Stone talks about playing this part for herself, not for others.
There's only so much choice you can make as an actor, especially at different points in your career. But when you get to make choices of like what you want to work on and who you want to work with and all of that, I think I don't ever think from the outside in. Like, I don't think about like what people would expect of me or something.
I want to see you naked.
Kathy, what do you think of her?
Yeah. She's
I knew it. Is it her mouth?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
I love her. I think she's great. And I think she's got a cute little lisp kind of thing going on. But there are sometimes like the shape of her mouth makes me go, I don't know what it is. Yeah. I don't know what it is. And I think she's beautiful without question, but there's some little thing she does with her mouth that kind of.
There's some things that I love her in, but there are other things where I'm just staring at her.
Preston?
Yeah.
Love
that movie.
I hate that movie.
Oh,
you hate La La Land?
Yeah.
I like, and I've told you I don't like musicals. I love that movie.
Yeah,
Likewise.
that was great.
Likewise.
Poor Things is now in theaters. Here's
That's what I really liked her in.
Poor Things?
No.
Oh, in La La Land.
Yeah, La La Land.
All right, next clip. Here we go. And Leave the World Behind. A family's getaway to a luxurious rental home takes an ominous turn when a cyber attack knocks out their devices and two strangers appear at their door. In this clip, Julia Roberts talks about firsts she had creating this movie.
I remember it was really hot and just screaming for hours until I truly had no voice, and we had to change the next few scenes that we had the next day because I could not talk anymore. I've never lost my voice in my life.
Could you shut up?
Casey saw it. He said it's really good.
Really?
Yeah, Leave the World Behind is in theaters now, by the way.
Like a weird sort of Twilight Zone sort of thing to it?
Yeah, and he said the end is strange, but he really did enjoy it. So, but he said it's a suspense thriller type of thing. So
I'm down with that.
All right, there you go. That's the entertainment report for this morning, my friend. We have some stuff going on. It's a Wednesday, so we'll go on Fox Good Day less than an hour from now. We also have a secret text word, which is now up and running. And we have a chance for you to win a 5-pack of tickets for you and friends to join an evening with the Fab Five 20 years later. It's this Saturday at the Wind Creek Event Center in Bethlehem. So Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, the gang's back together. And you can go, so text word secret to 39333. We'll do invites for Christmas Miracle in just a little. You know, I should do a couple now.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Give me some Christmas spirit here, if you don't mind, Marissa. That's a whole page of stuff right there. So just, here we go. Christmas Miracle, my friends. Let's take callers 10 and 11 at 215-263-WMMR. If you're able to join us 1 week from today in Phoenixville at the Colonial Theater, we're going to have a good time. We're going to give away tons of prizes. And don't forget to wear your ugly sweater because, of course, we have the Miller Lite Ugly Sweater Contest that is taking place. You can go to WMMR.com for another chance to win, by the way, and information on the Miller Lite pre-party that's taking place. We'll take those callers 10 and 11. Call only if you can actually be there, and it's for the entire morning next Wednesday in Phoenixville. 215-263-WMMR is the number. We'll do some more invites through the course of the morning. Stay put. We'll be back in a sec.
I had somebody tell me yesterday, I'm going to bring it back to this. They were like, it was so enlightening to hear you guys talk about a female-based product, the menstrual cup, not fart jokes and porn.
Here we are.
We're back.
And we just did it all.
Don't worry.
We did it all.
Absolutely.
Hey, this might be the perfect opportunity. All right, Marissa, I sent you guys this instructional video.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday. Did you watch it?
I heard you watching it in the office, and I could hear it, and I'm like, what? It's got to be some sort of sex toy or something.
So it's this bizarre product, and I sent it to all of you guys. And the subject line I used was instructional video. Please watch. Nobody got back to me. Like not one person responded to me, and I'm like,
yeah.
Did I offend Marissa and Kathy? Well, I know I didn't offend Kathy because she was in the same room. But
that's a terrible feeling when you send out something you think, oh my God, did I cross the line?
Right.
And I wanted to watch it, and
possible
you were making such a thing about it that I wanted to not be distracted, and I never got around to it.
Marissa, see if you can grab the audio from that, and I don't know if it's fully if we can play it or not. But there are specific body parts. I don't think it talks about insertion or anything like that. But it is this quote unquote massage piece of machinery that is one of the most involved looking things I've ever seen. If it's indeed made for it, has to be.
Back
made for
here is the
pleasure.
carburetor.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
it's complicated.
Oh
It
yeah,
is.
yeah, and it is there for pleasure, right? You know, if you make it all the way through, okay, you know, because things go in things, and other things go in other things, and
There are some things that and we've talked. I remember one time we did. I think we were doing an appearance at maybe Risque's store or whatever when it existed, and there were things in there I would have thought were actually involved in construction that were that. There's no way that is a sexual thing.
But Kath, when you were talking about sending things to people, and I have done that, I've sent things to you, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And then I go, oh wait, no, she has sent me the picture of that guy sitting on the on the side of his bed
with his giant
with his giant thing hanging out. I'm like, okay, I think I might be safe here.
I love when they will insert. They will have like a dignitary at some meeting, like a parliament, and they will insert that picture in one of the frames behind him.
Dude, the latest one, it was a COVID test.
Yep.
And I sent it to Kathy. I'm like, dude, I think I came back positive, and she's like, dude, I got this like 3 days ago.
I didn't say that. I sent you a screenshot of the text that Preston sent me
I had
that
already
said,
sent
I
it
think
to
I
her.
tested positive.
There was only one person I wanted to send that to, and that was Kathy. Yeah, listen, I bought Kathy for one of her birthdays, like a butthole polisher one time. Right?
Yeah,
I thought it was nice.
Right?
Yeah. So you can't cross the line with her. No. I don't think so.
No, there's. I don't. Yes, I don't get offended by anything. I don't think it's all funny, but I don't. Right. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I don't get offended if you get me a butt plug.
Like I've lost. I traded in, and I've always said this. I say of offensive things all the time. I do not have the right to get offended. You know, it's just it's my deal.
Right.
If I dish it out, I have to be able to take it.
Right.
But if Kathy ever wanted to like get us fired,
Oh my god!
Jesus. Oh yeah, there's so much ammo. It's not even.
I mean,
Then all you have to do
remotely
is
funny.
show the text from her on the phone.
Come on.
You'll be reinstated.
I will also
my mind.
I will also think of the time that you put a Sharpie in my butt crack, and you don't remember that, but I do. I'm
No.
like, yes.
Did I draw on your butt?
No. I was like bent over, and my crack was showing, and you were like,
Wow. Okay.
Do we have it over the audio?
No, I don't. Are you editing it?
It might
Marissa?
have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's you don't need to. We don't need to hear all of it. It's just I want to get the tone of this guy that is doing the narration for it. That is actually the instruction. It's like he's being as serious as you can possibly be about it.
I love that.
And talking about this stuff that's just like
And
It's like these things, and we never play these fully, but
Dad, can I talk to you for a minute?
yeah.
there's a much longer piece of that. But I love and
What
the
is
other.
what is the exact product?
I don't
it's like a
even
pleasure
know.
device. It's something you buy for, and
It's
there's.
got to be extremely expensive
Yeah,
because it's super
I
complicated.
was curious as to what the cost was, but it's for the front and the back and the underneath.
Simultaneously?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
is
the
it
thing
like
that goes
is it
in
like
the
a
back-
Sibian?
The thing that goes in the back, no, it's like nothing you've ever seen before.
Is it a revolution in home entertainment?
like I can't even explain it.
okay, so remember when we were talking about packing a flounder before?
Yes,
Okay. So there's essentially this thing that packs a flounder for you, but it's there to stimulate things.
Oh.
So it,
Okay.
But it's just wild that, like, Press, you talk about the narration, but like somebody also had to animate this.
yes,
like,
there's a professional animator with it too. Here, I'll play some of it.
Before using the Shinfly full coverage men's massager, all body parts in contact with the massager and the massager itself shall be fully cleaned. After assembling the massager, lock the rear massage bar in the initial position, adjust the front massage bar to the maximum angle away from the body, and tie the belt at the waist.
There's a belt.
Smear
Okay.
the orange lubricant on the anus and surround.
Oh, you got to watch that one.
She missed that.
She missed that one.
It's okay.
I would say
The anus sensor. Yeah. So.
So
It is funny what we can and can't say because like it's all technical terms.
it is.
It is.
You
But
know,
there are some. We get away with murder in so much.
And I
that
guess
it's-
skin.
Yeah.
The surrounding skin of the perineum, thigh, inside, and all surfaces of massage head in contact with the skin uniformly.
Okay, that's all we're going to play.
So initially when I saw the picture of it, I thought it was one of those office chairs that you sit in that doesn't have a back to it, but it's actually a device that you wear. You can wear standing up. There's a pin on it like a grenade.
I would need the instructions for this device. What the hell?
You have seen nothing like this. I want to get one of these in the studio. Do they have a price?
No, but I'll bet you it's a few $1,000s. Look at this.
So
wait, I'm sorry.
See, that wraps around.
Is that supposed to go over your Johnson?
Oh, yeah.
And then it goes up and down.
There you go.
Watching the animation. But what I can't figure out is the seat part of it.
The seat looks like a ski boot.
It does. It looks like a ski boot.
So you sit on a ski boot.
Hey, without looking behind you, Steve, who do you think is in the studio now?
Bill?
Yeah. He just came into the studio. He's shaking his head. He's
he
not
has
happy.
one of these.
It was his birthday on Sunday.
He came in to clarify.
He's going to let us know the price.
What do those things cost, Bill?
You should get one that instead of a motorcycle seat.
Bill, honestly, have you ever seen anything like this in your life?
You know, I'm in my office last night, long after you've gone.
Right.
I listened to the Kathy Menstrual Cup segment because I missed it live.
Right.
What'd you think? It's pretty straight ahead, right?
There was look. It's like, well, I actually looked up. It's been so long since we've talked about FCC and the liability of obscenity and all of that stuff. It hasn't been a conversation. I looked up the definition again, and I think you guys are dancing on that line because it has something to do with sexual or excretory activities and organs, which is what
There's nothing sexual about it. I mean, it deals
with
biological, if anything.
It deals with a sexual organ.
Right. Yeah, like a Wurlitzer.
By my by Kathy's very apt description of what that does. Anyway, and you're doing this today. I'm like, I dumped the lubricant on the thing.
Yes, which we would only.
Gotcha.
Our agreement with you is always we'll swing for the fences and you excise what you think is appropriate.
People are wondering what the name of it was. They're going to play the beginning. Just it says the name of this.
Before using the Shinfly Full Coverage Men's Massager,
Shinfly Full Coverage Men's Massager.
So I need to imagine, because so much of this is written and appears to be in Mandarin, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely an Asian product, I believe. But it's got subtitles, which brings us full circle to the conversation we started.
Says great for dads and grads.
Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. So today's discussion just kind of brought me back to those good old days where we're really working the dump buttons. But
good.
Yeah. So
by
maybe
the way,
a Preston and Steve logo in the merch shop, in the rock shop. We could make some money on this.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again,
and you could be the narrator. Bill's a great narrator, by the way.
Yeah.
He does wonderful narration.
I get all.
Wait, hang on. Let me
all body parts in contact with the massager and the massager itself shall be fully cleaned.
I think you're better than this guy.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want from me. Santa's got to go.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Santa's got to go. All right, so you need to see this thing. You need to do a search on the. Hold on, what was the name of it?
I mean, it'd be easier to go out and get a girlfriend.
Yes,
by far.
Just putting this thing on, just all the straps and hooks. And various things you need to put together to put this thing on your body is more work than going out and trying to get an actual relationship.
And what do you think? It's like, you're at the office. Can I come in? No!
Before using the Shinfly Full Coverage Men's Massager.
Shinfly Full Coverage Men's Massager. Marissa?
We're sharing it on all of our social media
Okay.
accounts,
All right.
so
You
can
got to
find the
see
link
this
there.
thing. There's nothing full-on graphic
No.
about
Everything
the
is,
animation, but I mean, it's
suggested.
It's certainly suggested, but I've never seen anything like this product before.
I mean, there has to come a point about 3 minutes into using it where you just feel like the lowest scum on earth.
Or you finally found the
euphoric.
greatest thing that's been created by man.
Honey, I want a divorce.
Wow. Okay. All right. Eddie Vedder is heading out on the road tomorrow night in support of his new solo set, Earthling. Vedder kicks off a 9-date run at New York City's Beacon Theater, although he played a surprise show last night, right, Nick?
He did, yeah. He was in a place just outside of New York City, and the Earthlings were with him, and that's Chad Smith and Josh Klinghoffer and a few other guys. And so there's a whole bunch of songs that I've never heard of that he did last night. And then, tomorrow night at the Beacon Theater, and then Friday night at the Beacon Theater. And I will be attending Friday night show.
93.3 WMMR.
Thank you, Kath. So, got an email the other day from somebody who was not happy about something that we spoke about on our show. Nice person, mind you, but I would like to read their message. I've edited down some of this because it was a pretty lengthy email. They've been a long-time listener to the show.
One person on this show pissed them off.
Kind of, sort.
Okay.
Well, no, a couple of people did.
All right.
A couple of things that were said. It says Preston had a story about string pins in bowling alleys.
Right.
Okay. And Kathy spoke about bowling alleys. And by the way, alleys is in quotations because alley is not a word. The author of this, she said, alley is not a word I use to describe our bowling centers. So Kathy spoke about bowling alleys.
Except they're called bowling alleys on the sign.
She says, my bowling center is neither dark nor dingy. Mm-hmm. You are welcome anytime to either of our locations. And I'll tell you where this is in a moment. She said, Preston said, I know what you're talking about, Kathy. Carpets are dirty. That was a direct hit. We have completely remodeled the center in Northeast Philadelphia over the last 9 years. The owners I work for are two of the best guys you could ever work for. They care about the center and care about their employees. Casey stating that the seats are from the 1970s is not true at all. And then Steve's comment about the guy with the glass eye behind the shoe counter was the cherry on top.
I like that one.
She said, we are in the entertainment industry. We also have a full-service bar and grill. Our food and beverages are 5 stars. Our pizza is in the top 3 of the best pizzas around. You should try it, Casey. Our centers are packed at a consistent basis, not only on league nights, and yes, it is profitable, Casey. I am a manager, event coordinator, and youth bowling league director, amongst a million other titles. And she says, my invitation extends to all of you. Anytime you'd like to bring your family bowling, reach out to me. I'd be glad to show off our bowling centers. I still love all of you and will still listen to the show every day. That is from D. Campbell, the district manager of Thunderbird Lanes, which you can find at 3075 Holme Avenue in Philadelphia and also 1475 West Street Road in Warminster.
Thunderbird Lanes.
Thunderbird Lanes. So this led me to a thought to pose to the listeners of the show that, and the conceit is my job or my industry gets a bad rap. It's not as bad as you think it is. And I would like you to go ahead and tell us why. 215-263-WMMR. Whatever it is you do, whatever industry you work in, has some stereotypes that just either aren't true or are blown out of proportion, and you would like to tell us why.
Try to clean the slate a little bit.
I'd like to hear about that.
All right, yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't, I was saying, yes, not all bowling alleys are dumps. That's definitely.
That's what you said off air.
I did not say that. Did not say that off air. But I have been to bowling alleys that are dumps in my time.
There are places for the while. All the rage was the upscale meeting place, the Lucky Strikes, and all that. That was yes, of course
Those
they
are
are.
fun.
Yes, I have news for you though. I think like the place that we went and had the little bowling party with the station when that time Bill Weston hooked that up. You know, that was a little rundown. I like that too.
You like the dingy ones.
Yeah, I like the character.
I agree, Steve.
Well, and listen, I don't think that we said, and I know we're going with this topic, but I don't think we said that your job was terrible. For
no,
me,
you said that off air.
No, stop. For me, and that email, well, I understand it, and that person is, defending where they work and their business and all of that. And listen, some of them might be nice. When Lucky Strike first opened and that was gorgeous, I'll be honest, I hated that too.
There you go. You don't like bowling.
I don't like bowling alleys. I don't like bowling centers. I don't like bowling. You're And yes, I'm sure it is packed, and that's part of the reason I don't like it. You're going to go and you
all those gross people.
There are a lot of people in a place I think sucks.
No, listen, no. I'm saying the lanes are taken.
People?
Yes, they are booked. I'm not saying that people don't like it. I just don't like it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We weren't taking aim at your industry, D. I mean, we were having a little fun conversation about it, and Kathy's not into bowling alleys, and she was telling us why, and not everybody is going to love it, but we were just pointing. Listen, almost any place is going to have some unattractive attributes to it, but yeah. So don't worry about it. I'm sure Thunderbird Lanes is probably awesome. Sure, it's fantastic.
We'll Kathy will take us there for a party.
What I do like hearing is that she takes pride in the place.
Yes.
And that's pretty cool.
A lot of times your particular occupation, even your business is besmirched, by the general public. And you listen, if you can be proud of or say my occupation is better than you think, that's something good. If you enjoy where you work, we've all had jobs where if somebody said you were going to dump, you'd say, yeah, you're right. I hate it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, without question. All right, some calls, 215-263-WMMR is the number. We will go to Richard first. Hi, Richard. Good morning.
Hey, Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, buddy, what's up?
Hey, so I work in the automotive industry, and people are always saying, oh, you have to know everything about your car. You don't really need to.
So
it's a lot easier than people think.
To work in the automotive industry, you're saying you don't have to know a lot.
I mean, you do have to know some stuff, but
you could be virtually brain dead and do what I do for a living.
Well, let me ask you, Richard. Now, with all the computer systems, I think it's a highly skilled, occupation. I think, especially now with the computer systems and stuff like that. You're saying that the common misconception, though, is that you have to basically be able to dismantle and rebuild a car completely.
Yes.
Well, wait a minute. The automotive industry has a lot of different jobs. What job are you referring to?
Well, I do automotive painting. That's my area.
Okay.
I'm actually working on some stuff right now myself.
Okay. All right.
That's
specified.
That's very specific. I was thinking you were talking about automotive repair.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I was thinking maybe
that's
sales.
The main area that everyone gets all upset about is you don't need to know everything. You can be really good at engines and follow through on just engines. There's people that get paid to do just engines.
That can specify. He brings up a good point.
Thanks, Richard.
You know what's surprisingly easier than you might think? Carjacking.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it easier?
It really is.
You
It's
just
really,
walk up and say, "Give me your car."
A lot of people are exploring the job opportunities in Philadelphia now.
Okay.
With carjacking.
Sure, we've seen a lot of amateurs out there trying it out. I'm going to go to Christian. Hi, Christian. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. I'm really sorry Casey's not in today because I really wanted to let him know that I do, in fact, have a sister.
Oh, man. Sister Christian. And damn it, Casey would know where that is. I don't know.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
All right. Wait, hold on. Give me 1 second here. We are going to honor your request, sir, and we are going to do that right now. Thank you, Marissa. Nice work. Marissa's filling in for Casey today. All right, Christian, what do you do for a living, man?
All right, so I'm a tax accountant. So there's a couple.
Oh,
we're losing you, man. Can you repeat that?
Say that again. Your signal's breaking up. Nope.
I was going to say, he makes fun of us all the time for being an accountant. So I'm a tax accountant.
Okay.
And so Steve makes fun of us all the time. And it's not as boring as people think. Numbers or anything like that. I'm not dorky. I'm a big guy. I played ice hockey my entire life. And so it's just, it's a completely different profession. And people think we just look at Excel spreadsheets all day, but it's not truly what we do.
You're saying the common perception of the bespectacled sort of, sitting over crunching numbers kind of guy is not true, or girl. And that, would you consider it an exciting profession?
Absolutely. So I'm in client services. So I'm at client sites all the time, and we sell work a lot.
Really?
It's really not just. I work for a big company called PricewaterhouseCoopers.
Oh, yes, of course.
So every time you bring up auditing the Oscars, we get a good chuckle. Because they messed it up a couple years back.
Yeah.
If you remember that, said the wrong name.
La La Land. Yeah.
So no, it's a completely different profession that folks really don't truly understand.
Yeah.
And just I hear Jackie Bam Bam saying crunching the numbers all the time.
Let me ask you, Christian. For example, one of the big things we hear about now a lot is forensic accounting. Is that something you engage in?
Absolutely. So we have an entire forensic accounting practice within the firm who basically go in and investigate things. We also have a cybersecurity practice that has to do with accounting, and they go in and they basically try to break into companies' firewalls, et cetera, and get paid a lot of money to do that stuff.
Well,
cool.
I would
stand corrected.
I would assume people that handle computer tech problems for you, it might be similar in that those guys love fixing a problem.
Yes, yeah.
Like me, it's a nightmare. But
Right.
they see it as a challenge and almost like a puzzle that they need to work out and are not going to stop until they fix the problem.
They once made a movie of my mind. It was called An Unattractive Mind.
There you go.
Yeah.
But Christian,
An unattractive mind.
is it kind of similar with you? You like to figure this thing out.
100%, Press. So it's essentially, we get client calls. I get client calls all day long saying, I have an issue with this. I have a problem with this. I don't know what to do with this. And it's really just professional problem solving. It's not necessarily sitting in front of your computer all day crunching the numbers. It's really client interaction. It's fun. It's exciting. So yeah.
Christian, you need a shirt that says "Just crunching the numbers" on it.
You know what? Get Greg Monahan to make me something.
There we go. Yeah.
Done. All right, thanks, Christian.
Thanks, Christian.
Appreciate it, man. We'll see you. So I have a friend. Now, this is a more exotic profession, but he's a surgeon. He's a neurosurgeon.
Yeah.
And like that, it's, he's presented with a problem, and the enticement, the excitement is to figure out how to fix this problem. You know what I mean?
Will he ever leave something in a body just for kicks?
Just for fun. Maybe they won't notice.
I left a poop knife.
I'm glad you brought up surgeon. I have a friend that is a surgeon as well. She's a bariatric surgeon at the VA hospital. And I thought she was all serious and whatever. And then she told me recently, no, we tell fart jokes all the time to each other because that's just part of the...
It can be more casual.
Yeah.
And do you think that the work, obviously, is this person engaged by the work and finds it exciting or, so...
Steve, I was just talking about her last night to my husband, saying she has a work ethic like me, where she takes on other projects, works all the time, loves it so much. But she's like, we're in surgery, and there's a lot of poop going on.
Oh, okay. Well, here's an email that says, I'm a librarian. You'd be surprised how many people assume that I volunteer there. No, I get paid. And many people think that libraries are irrelevant. Quite the contrary. The library is a bustling place. People still read books, believe it or not. Additionally, there are computers and free programs like yoga. So don't diss the library, they said.
I love my library.
I haven't been to a library in ages.
You know why you should go, Preston? You can get ebooks for free.
Okay.
The program that you pay for, which is fine and obviously a good one, but you don't have to do that. You can get an ebook. And my fiance read listened to the entire Dune series from the library.
I was talking to a friend of mine. This is years and years ago, and we were talking about the books that we were reading. We're just got things. And he goes, "Oh God, dude, I found this place. You actually can go there. They will lend you the books, and when you're done, you just take it back, and it doesn't cost you anything."
To that point,
it's called the library.
Yeah.
To that point, what exactly is a free library?
I think it's just the name they gave.
Okay,
it.
because
if I recall, I think it's just the name they gave it, Steve. I don't know.
Because library, that used to be a weekend. Honestly, my dad would take us every Sunday afternoon, obviously more in the colder months, to the library, and we would spend time in there. We could take out books. And loved it. It was a great experience.
Was there originally, when you got a library card, like a nominal fee?
Yeah.
For some, yeah.
Okay. Maybe this one has no fee.
Steve, guess where the free library began?
Philadelphia.
Right here in Philadelphia, yeah. And so they used to have a subscription fee for wealthy residents to join libraries. And then in 1887, a guy named William Pepper, I just looked this up, was the provost of the University of Pennsylvania, set out to create a system of free libraries publicly available to all residents of Philadelphia.
So it was Dr. Pepper that did that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was indeed Dr. Pepper.
And he was very proud.
Let's see who we can go to next. Your job either gets a bad rap or your industry. I'm going to go to Beth. Hi, Beth. Good morning.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, Beth?
I work in dentistry, and except maybe from Kathy, we completely get a bad rap. People think we are just here to torture. Every time I go to grab a patient, I ask them, hi, how are you? They say, oh, God, I'm here. Oh, I hate it. I almost never bring back a happy patient.
So
just wants to see us.
Do people sort of avoid you, or do they think that you sort of get off like it's Little Shop of Horrors on
they don't want to go,
making people uncomfortable?
100%, 100%. And I just work at the most lovely practice in Pottstown, and my lead practitioner is just so kind and so caring. And we use computer-assisted design technology.
Yeah.
And that helps us fabricate same-day crowns. so you don't have to request multiple days off of work even.
That's awesome.
Not only are we kind and happy and we love our jobs, we want to keep you going to work, unfortunately.
No.
Over and over again.
That sounds really good.
I'd rather go to the dentist than a bowling alley.
Wow. What if you, Beth, have you guys ever considered putting a lane in your practice? For people, for the bowlers with bad teeth. No, I go to my dentist is Dr. Petula, and the whole collective of people working there, the professionals. It's always up. It's always a great atmosphere. You enjoy going. So I can believe you, Beth, that you have a very upbeat, very positive dental practice.
Yeah, it's the best. If anybody is in Pottstown.
All right.
What's the name of your practice?
Pottstown Family and Cosmetic Dentistry.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good for you.
Kath?
No, I was just going to say, the dentist never bothered me. I was fine growing up, and I recently changed, but the dentist that I go to now, she's actually considered a dental spa. So
a dental spa. Shut up.
Yeah.
If you would ever go in and find like you had a real cavity going on, would you just want to off yourself because you got the perfect choppers there?
No, but I mean, I do have a cavity.
Do you?
Yeah, I had to get the Novocaine. Listen, that was not fun, but I took care of it as soon as I had it, so that
how did that not
it
make
didn't
the
get
news?
worse. Well, so it didn't get worse. Yes, remember we talked about actually for the the one, it was so small that they didn't even give me the Novocaine.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, are we sure about this? Like
this is
all
not
going to go
bowling.
well.
Yeah. All right, I want to go next to Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Morning, bud.
Good morning. First time COVID time.
Oh, nice. All right. Kevin, what's your industry, dude?
I work in the insurance industry. I work for a claims department. We sell disability policies to people. And insurance companies always get a bad rap that we don't pay claims. We don't want to pay claims. We just take their money. And that is so far from the truth.
Listen, every time I've had the best service, every time I have swindled or done any sort of insurance fraud,
you guys are great.
I've gotten such prompt service.
You get a good payment.
Yeah,
you get a great payment.
That's when you get a visit from me. I go out and I interview our insurers.
Hey,
and make sure that we pay compensable claims.
Okay.
Kevin, have you ever caught someone? Obviously just a blatant fraud where they've claimed some sort of injury and they're putting a dormer on the house?
Oh, yes. Yes, we have. As a matter of fact, I won't name the company, but we've had 3 investigations on 2020.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, where they've caught these people and they've done a lot of bad stuff. So, yes, but that is not the norm. We mostly pay out our insurance claims.
So
that's what we get insurance for.
Is the general vibe, do you feel, so let me ask you, I think this is our perception, maybe you can help us. Is there a general, obviously to us, it sort of appears like gambling, and that it's the house always wins. But do you legitimately, from your perspective, is it good? Do you feel like you're helping people who need that money in that time? Is that your general vibe?
Yes.
Okay.
So you want to get them as much help as they can get.
Yes, we actually, people might not send in paperwork, and we actually go out and try to help them fill it out to see what's going on.
Okay.
All right. We're there to pay the claims, and most of the time when people have problems with us, it's just a different interpretation of the policy language.
Okay. Yeah.
But for the most part, we're paying our claims, and it is very satisfying when you do help people.
And Kevin, do you like your job?
I love it.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. I mean, it could be worse. You could be working in a bowling alley.
Dude, okay.
That's what Kathy said.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it, man. Oh, my God. All right, yeah, let's go over here to, let's go to Mike. Hello, Mike. Good morning.
Andy!
I don't have access to our awesome names.
Marissa will get it. She's good.
Casey's not here. So, all right, what's up, bud? What do you do?
I am a chiropractor.
All right. And what kind of bad rap do you feel that your industry gets?
Well, my industry probably gets every bad rap under the sun. Most people have 2 schools of thought. There's 2 spectrums. You either absolutely hate chiropractors and think we're all snake oil salesmen, or you absolutely adore your chiropractor.
Okay.
So there are a lot of I mean, this is the age-old thing. There's a lot of doctors just sort of look down their noses at chiropractic and dismiss it. and other people swear by it. My wife goes to a chiropractor she loves and gets tremendous results. So, so you're constantly sort of trying to validate what you do?
Yeah, but to be honest with you, like, I'll give you some insider secrets. Nobody hates a chiropractor more than another chiropractor.
Really?
I'm one of the big, yep.
Explain.
I'm one of the big chiropractic haters, I'll tell you.
Why? Well, why? Explain.
The reason is, I'm going to break it down for you. The reason is there are two schools of thought. There's like the old school way, and then there's the new school way. And the new school way, like, largely centers around research and peer review papers and textbooks and whatever else that proves therapy works or disproves therapy. And then there's the old school way where everybody thinks like the old school way of treating people, like cracking your neck or back, is the way that's going to cure everything. And that's just not true.
Okay. Because that's why I start to have some issues is when, this will fix your psoriasis, by popping your neck.
So, Mike, you're saying crack is whack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the standard.
Okay.
All right, Mike. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, bud. We'll, he doesn't have a whole lot to say, but I know what he's talking about. I know what he's talking about. They get a bad rap.
There used to be one of the ongoing jokes on 2.5 Men, Preston. One of the brothers was a chiropractor, and there was always even the mom would say, "When are you going to become a real doctor?"
Right.
I do know that in my life, the times that I've encountered chiropractors, and my wife swears by hers, they get results. So there you go.
Yeah.
Anecdotally, I think they're every bit. I think Dr. Mike speaks in favor of them as well. So
I wish Casey was here to defend him.
wait, Preston's saying no. So I want to be. And Dr. Mike, call in if you believe otherwise.
I've heard him say to me, "Don't end up at a goddamn chiropractor."
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I wish Casey was here because I'm pretty sure it's him, but our friend Dave McGrogan's here. He was a chiropractor.
That's
and
correct.
He would say, well, I'm a doctor. And Casey would go, "You're a chiropractor."
Yeah, he got out of it. Didn't Dave say because it was an entire fraud industry?
That's what I think.
He
that was
opened
his
up a bowling
exact quote. Hang on a second here. All right, I wanted to go to this call. I want to go to Jackie. Hi, Jackie. Good morning.
Good morning. I love you guys so much.
We love you so much too.
You're going to be our regular Saturday night thing, Jackie. All right, so what do you do? What industry are you in that gets you feel a bad rap?
Well, I used to be a corporate recruiter for like 10 years, and now I'm a stonemason.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Hold a left turn on that one.
Yeah, you did.
It wasn't the easiest to get into because of my body parts, honestly. It's a total boys club, but we can do it. I've been doing it for about 2 years now, and I'm kicking some ass. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, Jackie, it says here on my screen here that you feel that some people believe that any idiot can be a stonemason, and that's part of the thing you want to defend.
Of course. That was part of the argument I was getting from friends and family. Like, really, you're going from corporate to throwing around rocks?
Right.
Like, what are you doing? And actually, it takes a whole lot of precision and timing and a lot of brain power. You really have to know what you're doing. In what I do, it's not something you're going to do annually. It's going to last for like a decade at least.
Hey, Jackie, how often, how many times a week do you have to deal with gender issues?
At least once. Either, it's usually from customers. The company I work at is great, and I inherited like a dozen big brothers. But, I usually get asked, are you, is this like your dad's company or is my
Right.
Is that your brother? Like what are you doing? And they'll say like, how long have you been doing this? I'm like, well, a few years. And I'm 38. So they're like, okay, what have you been doing? I was like, I was a corporate recruiter. And they're like, oh. And now you're doing this?
They can't understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now
I sure am.
you're breaking through that stone ceiling.
Yeah.
No, that's cool, man. I think the actual occupation itself is kind of cool, and so what you're saying is it sounds cool to me. So, but you're saying people just kind of A, they don't believe you, and B, they don't think it's that you've made a bad decision in where you are. Correct?
Exactly. Until I'm done what I'm doing, and they're like, "Oh, that looks great."
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the name of the Jackie? What's the name of the company?
I work for Jameson Home Services.
Okay.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Jameson, Yeah.
That's cool.
They're
And you
awesome.
and clearly you enjoy what you do, right?
I love it. I
Nice.
love it. Yeah, absolutely.
She
Good for
spends
you.
all day stoned. Is the old
Excellent.
joke.
Aw. Thank you, Jackie. Appreciate you checking in. We got to take a break in just a second, but I want to go to Jay because he has an interesting occupation. Jay, morning, bud.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Good, man. What's going on?
So I run the Exotica Expo. We're the largest adult entertainment event in the country.
Right.
And as you can imagine, probably the thing that we hear the most is it's got to be a bunch of single dudes in sweatpants coming out of their parents' basement and coming into the show.
So what is it primarily? Stonemasons?
Yeah, stonemasons and bowling experts.
How long you been doing this, Jay?
We've been doing it 15, 16 years. Actually, we were in studio with you guys way back when we started this thing. So we do a show up in Jersey and then also all over the country.
So is it to the point, and I know that the actual adult film industry is run majority-wise by women now, I think, at this point, or at least 50-50. So is this, what do you think is the one message you'd want to get out about what you do? That
we do a thing called Ladies Free Friday, and we have about 50% of our attendees now are female-based. And so, as you can imagine, like post-COVID with OnlyFans and with kind of the rise of that side of it, it is definitely not just single dudes from their parents' basement.
Right.
Although there's a few of them.
There's a few of those in there.
Sure. Yeah.
But I mean, they're definitely outnumbered at this point by women, couples, and kind of the average person that you would see walking down the street.
Okay. All right. I believe it. Yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of people that work in all kinds of industries that might surprise you, and that's why we took the phone call.
Some of the people you would never guess. They are, completely inconspicuous during the day, and then, you put them on a webcam.
Right. Jay, when and where is your next expo?
So we do the show up in Jersey every year in Edison. We do it in November, but we also do it in D.C., Miami, and Chicago throughout the year.
Wow.
Excellent. So maybe you can help Kathy with her OnlyFans foot page.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. I'm open to suggestions.
All right, Jay, thanks for checking in, man. We appreciate it. Good luck with everything.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we'll see you. All right, interesting. Just thought this would be an opportunity with this email that came in from Thunderbird Lanes.
Yes.
That says it's, bowling alleys don't fall into the stereotypes that some people might hold.
I really enjoy bowling.
Yeah, it is fun.
I want to get better at it.
All right. Well, thank you for your calls, gang. We appreciate that. I would like to give away a $50 gift card right now to Monterey Prime American Grill in Mount Laurel. We'll take caller number 15 at 215-263. WMMR. It's the newest restaurant from our buddy Dave McGrogan. Delivers an elevated dining experience with a California-inspired ambiance by Chef Andrew Pierce's award-winning culinary flavors. So we'll set you up with that gift card, and you will be good to go, my friend. We're coming back and going live on Fox Good Day when we return. Stay with us.
Nice.
While chatting with the New York Times, the Pearl Jam frontman recalled discussing his and the band's career with U2's Bono, who had very specific opinions and advice for Vedder.
What do you think about baloney?
He does.
I like it.
He recalled saying, I've had a conversation with Bono back in the day. He was suggesting that we needed to work harder and that you didn't want rock and roll to become a niche. And he said that when U2 makes a record, it's like they've got a racehorse and they don't want the horse to in the race. They want to win the race. And I said, we race the horse and then we let the horse run free. He said, I wasn't trying to be
honest, I don't know what you're talking about.
He said, I wasn't trying to be clever. That was the truth. And he was frustrated with me.
Do me a favor and put this device on. I think what is it? This part here goes over your manhood. This thing that looks like a ski boot just behind your nutsack. Now do a deep knee bend. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I see what you mean. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
His voice gets even shakier.
There you go.
Wow. That's unbelievable. Isn't that something? It's crazy.
You had to have heard our earlier discussion in order to understand exactly what we're referring to. But the video is now on our social media if you want to see.
I call this part the everlasting bum stopper.
Oh, my God. Hang on. I can't see the copy here.
And the video's back up again.
It's just such a clunky looking thing.
It is. There's no way to describe it.
Okay. No, you may not want to eat for this next segment that we're going to talk about.
Oh, man.
Kathy told us last night on a little phone call, and she prefaced this by saying, I want to share something with you guys. And she says, because we're family and we can talk about these things.
By the way, Casey was not on the call at this point, so this is going to be a surprise for Casey.
I go, what did I just walk into? And you guys said, you just wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
I said, okay.
Yeah. So you want to try something out, I believe?
Do. Yeah, I want to try something out. And when I say we're family, I mean us in the room and everyone that listens to the show.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
So I'm going to try a menstrual cup.
Oh,
a menstrual cup.
Wow.
Yeah, a cup. I'm so surprised.
A cup. Me too.
And in no small part, because your reaction anytime Preston has ever brought this up is just complete revulsion. And
That's
so,
what
like,
we thought.
The fact that you're coming around on it, and I've heard a lot of people rave about it. I'm proud of you. I think that's like a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they still existed. I thought that this was a thing from years ago. Now, listen, I don't know nothing about menstrual and all that. But it seems antiquated to me.
Well, so I think it's becoming a little more popular because they're saying that there's benefits to it. It's safer than wearing a tampon. It holds more, so you can go throughout the day, without having to change it. It's better for the environment, things like that.
Okay, so when you're saying it holds more, are we talking like a quart or what?
Well, Steve, I haven't used it yet, so I don't know, and that's part of my issue. I wanted to. I'm hoping that Mother Nature, the flow, kind of goes along, and I get it on the weekend because I'd love to try it, not having to come to work.
Well, isn't that a big? Well, you had mentioned in passing last night that was one of the things they mentioned. Don't take your first cup out for a spin while you're going into work.
Yeah, so apparently, yeah. So I'm on a group text with my girlfriends, and
the cuppers.
I think that 3 out of the 3 out of the 5 of us use it, and they were like raving about it. Go for it. No, you have to. Here's the one I use. Here's the one I use. There's different options out there. And so
do they have Yetis?
So me and the one girl who don't use it, we were like, okay, well, give us the what should we do? And the suggestions were, don't try to take it out the first time, at least, or until you get used to it, anywhere but your own home and possibly even the shower. Because
not at the mall.
Right. Well, that's what I'm worried about. I'm like,
not on all white Wednesdays.
Well, and so my other all white Wednesday. My other issue is, how much does it hold? Because
again. So as Preston said, we don't know, nothing about this. And I too thought it was something like an antiquated, turn of the last century sort of thing. But so I do understand that it's probably very safe. The purpose is will it stop any flow? Will it?
Yeah, well, yes.
So it basically dams it up, correct?
Yeah, it holds it. So when you take it out, it's still there, and you have to clean your cup and stuff like that. But
I never see. You don't see ads for these.
No.
You know what I mean? Like tampon commercials are a regular thing.
The cup might be too much for like a television commercial.
I know why we were talking about this. I had a bizarre file story of a guy who was drinking tequila out of it. He thought it was a shot glass. And it was a menstrual cup, and his girlfriend or wife had posted it online, and that's how we got talking about it.
Okay, so I don't know, Kathy. Listen, we don't know nothing about menstrual cycles here, but how many pints will you on a heavy flow day?
How many pints?
How many gallons?
I'm not measuring them.
Okay.
Case, I don't know. That's the problem because these menstrual cups they're not huge.
No.
So, I mean, I'm guessing they're made for to hold the average woman's.
Okay, so in the demonstration we're looking at here, Kathy, the woman dips a tampon down into some, which we assume is actual.
I don't think it's
actual blood.
I think it's probably water.
It obviously then it becomes larger, and so it basically serves as a plug.
I mean,
you would do this every. For how many days during your normal
cycle?
Like
the tampons,
like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, I mean, Excuse me, it depends.
And do you pour that into a larger jug that you keep by the front door?
But like it's so.
It's like my belly button lint collection.
Ew.
I haven't started.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Please talk.
The other thing is, and I've watched videos, and not graphic videos, like the videos that we're watching here, of how to put it in place.
Right. Mm-hmm. And how many guys do you need to have?
I know.
I mean,
might
honestly,
have my mom come over and help.
For the video that we're watching, it's not. They don't have to use a blood red liquid. They could use like a blue liquid.
Well, I think they're trying to be accurate.
We don't drink blue, just so you know.
Yeah, no, you're thinking of the Smurf cup.
But like when they do like diaper commercials, they don't like use brown water. They use a blue water.
It's a little icky for Casey seeing the red.
Do you know what brand you're going to go for, Kath?
Well, so here's the thing. I purchased one. I just went to Target and I purchased the one at Target. It's called like a Himalayan salt menstrual cup. However, my girlfriend uses a site called Lola, and this is sort of like environmentally safe, chemical-free type of products for women. So I may order one from here, Nick, and try this one. Because here's the thing: there's different ones, and the one from Target has like
Lola.
Because what I've also heard is you might have to like dig around a little to get it out.
Bad choice of words.
Well, somebody texted in, and by the way, we're getting a lot of positive response from women listeners.
Yes.
Male listeners,
not so much.
Not as much.
I don't think we understand it. But
so one of the female listeners recommended, Kathy, that there's one with a longer tip at the bottom of it.
So that's what I was worried about. That's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah. Also, Casey, there's a great documentary that you should watch. It's called Period End of Sentence.
I feel like I watched it, or no, it won a bunch of I was going to say Grammys, Oscars and stuff, right?
Yeah, and I believe one of the producers is local.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's about something that happens to half of the population on the planet.
Yeah.
And so it really just dives into.
I might want to watch it. Period. End of story.
Period. End of sentence.
A period. End of sentence.
Yeah, you're thinking of the sequel.
Yeah.
7:55. We're about ready to go live on Fox Good Day, so we'll get to traffic in just a moment. While we are awaiting for those guys to join in with us, I want to mention that Marissa Magnata has an appearance today.
Hey!
It is the first Christmas Miracle Miller Lite pre-party that's taken place. She is going to be at Milk Boy from 4 to 6 p.m. in Center City. So stop by because she is going to give away 20 passes to go to the Christmas Miracle Live broadcast next week in Phoenixville. And it will be at the Colonial Theater, and we give away some of our best prizes of the year, like a whole bunch of them all morning long. So stop by Milk Boy today from 4 to 6, a little happy hour event with Marissa, and your chance to win passes to the Christmas Miracle. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And by the way, everybody in attendance is going to have a shot to win some stuff. All right. Wait, where am I? I'm on the wrong thing here. There we go.
7:56. All right, we're getting to Preston and Steve.
Yay.
On this Wednesday. Hey, guys.
Hey. Hi, guys.
We want to know. Morning. Is it okay to tell your spouse a friend of yours' secret?
It's required.
So,
actually,
yeah. He's right.
If I am speaking to a married person and I am confided in them, I know that what I am telling them is going to end up. Even if you say whatever you do, don't tell anybody. Don't even tell your wife. It's going to go to the wife.
I add this as a caveat, or not a caveat, sort of a pre-warning. If they say, "Can I tell you something?" Well, I'm just to let you know. If it's a secret, my wife will know. I will let her know. Yep. So so I give them the option of opting out and telling me, but just assume I'm going to tell my wife. That's the way it goes. Yeah,
I like that. Except, Karen, you have a different experience, don't you? Didn't you say your husband?
I would say yes. Particularly if you tell a woman that they're going to tell their partner spouse within like under 5 minutes. If you want to keep a secret and you have something like, tell my husband, he will go to the grave with it. He has not told me like huge secrets about his friends, that they had different relationships and children and all kinds of things.
Wow.
I don't actually know.
And then how'd you find out? When the news broke or when it came out? And then you
realized? 2 years later.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they had a secret child or, whatever.
That's good stuff.
My sister was, getting engaged. And the guy came to and told Brian, my husband, and I never knew until that actually happened.
Do you spill the beans? Is that what it is?
No, I never tell a secret. We're just busy. We're just busy doing stuff.
So I don't know. I wouldn't be hurt if if a friend said, "Don't." I'm going to tell you a secret, and she didn't tell me. I just feel it's better just say, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to let my wife know, because this way It's too much to juggle. And this way, in just a conversation, she's the person I talk to the most in my life.
Yeah.
It'll eventually slip anyway. Just cover your bases.
The only time I think it might be all right is if it's, say, like a surprise for that person.
Yes.
And, for your significant other, and you need to keep it from them. But I tell my wife everything.
Honey, Jody's planning a surprise party for you.
Right. Exactly.
And this way you're covered. Yeah.
But I think we've always had that amongst ourselves. We kind of know, like, if somebody's going to tell us a secret, they'll say, don't tell anybody. I know you're going to tell Rochelle, but don't tell anybody else.
That's it.
Yeah.
But Kathy, what about you?
Well, it depends on the friend. So I've got one friend that we know it's been set. The spouses will know, and then another one. No, if information comes to me from her, I'm not allowed to tell a single soul.
I like that idea.
Actually, not.
Sometimes, Karen.
But setting the rules is a good idea. Set the rules ahead of time.
Mm-hmm. And according to this, nearly 30% of participants in this survey said that it's okay to share someone else's secret with your spouse. And then 20% said it's never okay to share. But the results were the same for men and women.
Do you know it's a good idea, Alex? Just make sure that when you present this, have your lawyer with you.
I like it.
That's right.
Good one. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.
Rest of
All
your
right,
day.
with that, we need to get a look at traffic. So, Kath, if you would, please, what's going on this morning?
95 southbound jams from Academy to Cotman, and then the Betsy Ross Bridge into Girard. The Vine westbound heavy the length. Schuylkill eastbound slowing 202 into Belmont. Heavy the Boulevard to University westbound past Young to South Street. And then near Conshohocken, we've got an accident. Allentown Road at Fretz Road in Tallaminson. We've got an accident there. 422 eastbound jams from Oaks to 23 in Malvern. Conestoga Road at Phoenixville Pike, an accident. In New Jersey, expect delays on Route 1 northbound at Perry Street in Trenton. That's an accident blocking the right lane. 42 north slows the Black Horse Pike to 295, and then 55 northbound slows from Deptford to 42. And SEPTA's westbound service has resumed normal operations near 2nd Street Station. Expect residual delays because of it. This traffic report brought to you by DaVita. DaVita invests in career growth for nurses. Be a part of a team where you are a top priority. New pay rates at DaVita Jobs. DaVita.job/Philly. That's DaVita.job/Philly. It's your time to join Team DaVita. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
That was very good, Kathy.
Thank you.
All right, here we go.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by Lehigh Valley Restaurant Group. They've got holiday gifts all wrapped. You can give the gift of Yum with a $25 Red Robin gift card. And you can get a $5 bonus buck reward for you. That is now through December 31st. Red Robin Yum. So this, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's hard to believe, it will be an all Florida bizarre file.
Nah, that's so hard to believe.
Every single story has its origins in Florida. So during a drunken outburst Friday evening, a man threw gator nuggets into a Florida restaurant and then proceeded to sexually molest a manatee mannequin in front of staff and patrons of the establishment.
So I got to ask, are gator nuggets gator testicles?
No, they are not. They are chicken nuggets, but they're made of alligator. So they're
it's
gator
pretty-
nuggets.
Yeah, there we go. I just immediately assumed testicles.
Investigators say Anthony Michael Lessa was intoxicated when he caused a disturbance at Rick's Reef in St. Petersburg. Lessa, cops allege, was throwing gator nuggets found in his right pants pocket upon arrest into the restaurant. When employees confronted Lessa about flinging the nuggets, he became belligerent and advanced on the life-size manatee.
Damn, that manatee's hot!
To the shock and likely amusement of onlookers, Lessa then went on to, quote, sexually molest the mannequin, which had been known to wear a T-shirt promoting the consumption of tacos. Criminal complaint does not further describe the alleged molestation of the manatee. After running from the eatery, Lessa Cop's charge caused a disturbance at a nearby hotel where he yelled and cursed at front desk workers and stood in the parking lot yelling obscenities.
Just banged a manatee.
When police arrived at the scene, Lessa exhibited multiple signs of intoxication and kept asking why he was being arrested.
Did you take gator nuggets?
Charged with disorderly intoxication disturbance, he was booked into jail on the misdemeanor count and was released from custody early the next morning.
All in all, a good night.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Here's another St. Petersburg story. On Sunday morning, just before 6 a.m., police on 2nd Avenue were awoken by the sounds of multiple car collisions. Ernesto Cordero said all the neighbors outside here, everybody was outside with their hands on their heads and looking around at parts and pieces everywhere. His car was one of 9 that were damaged after being hit by a man driving a stolen truck. Ronnie Barnes said it was total carnage out here. There were vehicle parts all the way down the side of the block. 2 of his cars were damaged. Officers responded to the area after getting calls from neighbors. And Yolanda Fernandez, by the way, said she's with the police department, said afterwards, driver got out of the vehicle, banged on some doors, and then we had officers surrounding the area. We had a K-9 out to try and track, but we weren't able to locate the suspect. They don't know why the man started knocking on doors after the collisions.
Where the man is he at?
They are watching security footage to see if they can find the guy. A former Haines City police officer in Florida, David Griffin, was arrested and charged with 5 counts of retail petty theft for allegedly stealing from Walmart on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
He's a cop.
Sure.
Griffin, accompanied by 28-year-old Shelby DuBose, was apprehended outside of Walmart.
They have some great stuff at Walmart.
Walmart staff observed Griffin placing items in bags without paying, and subsequent investigation revealed similar thefts on different dates. He resigned from his position upon arrest, and Sheriff Grady Judd expressed disappointment, emphasizing the need to hold Griffin accountable for betraying the community trust.
Your Honor, I really didn't need that Pee-wee Chia Pet.
All right, a couple arrested for keeping their 2 children in cages were employed by the University of Florida. The kids are 6 and 2 years old. Dustin Huff and Yuri G were arrested on charges of child abuse and child neglect. According to the report, the investigation began after a 6-year-old told his teacher that he didn't want to go home because his dad built a cage to lock him in when his mom worked. Officers responded to the home. They said the couple kept a 6-year-old boy in a cage made out of a wooden bed frame whenever he wasn't at school.
With kids that young, you got to hook them up to a line so they can run around.
And dig.
Yeah.
They would leave the child alone in the house. They told investigators the cage had been in their child's room for a year.
How brutal.
Yeah, they've been arrested. All right, another Florida story. A man died after a golf cart crash sent him flying into a pond at an RV park. The Florida Highway Patrol said the incident occurred Saturday morning in Brooksville, Florida, north of Tampa. A 74-year-old man was driving a cart on a golf cart trail. When he suffered a medical emergency, the golf cart went off the trail, struck the tree, causing him to be ejected from the cart and into a nearby pond.
And he drowned in the pond?
And he drowned in the pond.
So he was having a heart attack.
Something like that, yeah. And maybe somebody could have saved him, but he went in the water.
Do you know the story? A manatee dragged him onto the shore and tried to get mouth to mouth, but couldn't figure out where his mouth was.
They identified the man as Michael Severs, and he died by asphyxia or suffocation, and the death has been ruled accidental.
Stories like that where someone is behind the wheel and encounters a medical emergency, and they happen more often than you would think.
Yeah, it's scary. All right, and then one last Florida story for
I love this.
Entirely all Florida bizarre file.
Pick another state.
A Florida man was arrested. There aren't states like Florida, man.
No, it's a gem.
A Florida man was arrested after he allegedly fired off several shots during a neighborhood Christmas parade because he became agitated at what parade goers were doing.
Enjoying themselves?
Exactly.
What's with all the happiness?
Douglas Moore was arrested and charged with 6 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm while under the influence of alcohol. As the Middleburg Christmas Parade was underway Saturday evening, deputies and SWAT team members responded to a location along the parade route after several gunshots were heard.
He's a bit disruptive.
According to deputies, Moore became agitated by the activities generated by parade attendees, and that's when he discharged pistols several times while walking onto the property where a group of people were.
I tell you what it was really about. He was so anxious to see Santa.
No victims or witnesses had ever entered his property. Deputies said when they approached the back of the property, they saw several people yelling at the suspect, identified as Moore, at the property line. They were demanding to know why he was shooting a gun at them. When Moore allegedly refused to comply with deputies' orders to get on the ground, he was taken to the ground and put into custody. Deputies also observed his slurred speech and bloodshot water eyes.
I would like to see that as a claymation Christmas special.
Oh, that would be great, wouldn't it? No injuries were reported, and no one was struck by the gunfire.
I don't like parades, and I'm going to go get my gun.
And that is what I have in the bizarre file. And by the way, this text just came in. It says, damn, I moved to St. Pete 7 years ago from Philadelphia. Thanks for the laughs in the bizarre file this morning. My mom and sister live in St. Pete,
Yeah,
so
there you go.
I know how weird it can be. And that is it, friends. All right. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back in just a moment. We have some more giveaways in a little bit with Monterey Prime American Grill. Our buddy Dave McGrogan is here with us this morning.
Amazing food.
558 Fellowship Road, Mount Laurel, New Jersey, next to the Aloft Hotel. And we'll also do more Christmas Miracle giveaways. We got a bunch coming up. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
There's a lot of I read this book about this gentleman. No, I know. But this guy tried to live an Orthodox Jewish lifestyle for an entire year. He is Jewish, but he's not Orthodox. And so one of the traditions of Orthodox Jews is that when their spouse is on her period, they don't touch them.
Right.
And so for the longest time, they thought that it was a kind of the sexist sort of oh, gross, get away from me. And it was more, what he found out was more of like a mourning, the loss of the possibility of having a child.
Okay.
So when you are shedding, yeah.
I don't judge. I find that very interesting. In this case, to me, it would seem, because I know there have been issues with stuff like tampons and things of that
Toxic
nature,
shock.
where toxic shock and all those sort of situations.
Although
this would seem to be, to me, it actually would seem fairly easy. I was watching the demo video. She sort of rolls it up, and which allows for you to place it where it needs to be. And then once you let go of it, it expands to what you need it to be.
Right. I'm still worried about putting it in place.
Right. By the way, so do they have different sizes of them? Do you know?
Well, so I didn't know this.
You said you're using the Joe Namath brand.
No, stop it. God, jeez, Steve.
Where did you come up with that?
Hi, I'm Joe Namath. I'm not a woman, and I don't even pretend I know what goes on down there.
Preston, I think there are sizes. I'm looking now here. It says mini, size 1, and size 2, and then you can click the size.
So for the ad campaign, this would be for the regular size.
Yeah, a couple.
And the mini would be
couple.
There you go.
Oh, it actually
a couplet.
It actually goes by the sizes are based on your age, because I guess your flow changes as you age. So if you're 30 or older, so that wouldn't be me. That's a size 2.
Oh, so
under 30 is size 1, and then the mini are for first time users.
We're watching the again. Couple. So this seems. So, Kathy, the little nubby at the end that one would use to extract would seem to be about kind of the similar purpose of the string.
Right. So what you're looking at right now, that's similar to what my friend uses, but the one that I got from Target, the little nubby is kind of long. So that's why I don't know if it's comfortable.
To paint the picture, gentlemen, if I will. The cup itself looks like the front end of a World War II bomb that you would see dropped.
Right.
In
exactly.
An old video footage of World War II. So anyhow, but it's also got a little spire that sticks out from it.
Sort of an extended nipple.
A little handle, a little extended nipple, like a very lengthy nipple, if you will.
Right.
And that is what, now we're looking at some that actually have a ring on them. I guess these are reusable ones, Kathy.
Oh,
are
those
they
are party
disposable?
ones.
No, they're reusable. You wash them.
Which is why it's environmentally better. Okay.
And it seems to be of a very malleable polyurethane sort of thing. I do see the merit in this on one level. I think it might be a way I would go. So let me ask you one thing, and again, not to be... and then
at this point, go ahead.
She's showing to me that they do have the Joe Namath brand on Amazon. That with the tampon, you are also... sort of cleaning the area when you extract. Can you extract this?
Oh, wait, what do you mean? Like cleaning as in you think taking the tampon out is cleaning?
It does it?
Cotton swab.
Okay.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, because
I only wipe my butt.
No, think about it. It's like it's saturated, so
Right.
not so much.
No,
You're not
okay.
really
That makes sense.
anything.
I was just curious if that served a purpose that I was unaware of.
On this cup, to describe that little tip again, if you were a guy and you have one of these hands, you would take your finger and flick it and go and make that noise.
Now I know you're okay.
Or
I have to say, Kathy, I think this actually, as Nick started again, and I agreed with his perception, this seemed like something you'd be opposed to. Now that I hear it explained, it seems actually more cleanly.
Right?
Just the extraction process seems like it would be difficult because you're talking about something that's not plugged, it's not saturated into something. it's in a cup.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
and you got to pull that cup out, and there could be spillage.
It's like playing a game of Operation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
But
like that.
will your nose light up if you hit the edges of your...
But you want to do it in the shower, right, Kat?
I think
in the shower, of course.
I think the shower is a good idea.
You
Now-
wouldn't do it while standing on the console here in the studio,
I
right?
mean, no, I think I'm not going to go that far.
But if you were at work and you didn't obviously have the shower, would you then have two cups, like take one out, put the other one in? Because I don't know how these things work, but like if you took it out and then you had to like clean it in the sink,
right?
You couldn't do that because you're still expelling things, right?
But I think also the point of this is you can go much longer than a tampon. So you're not going. You can go to work for the day and then come home and change.
And if you have three of them at work, you could set up like a little 3-card Monte game with a little ball underneath one of the cups. Ooh, watch the ball. Which one has the ball?
Two more and you have a flight.
That too, yeah.
Flight of menstrual fluid. Hey, Kathy, what does an ablation do? Because I hear like some women after having babies will have an ablation to help with the flow.
Jerry Lewis invented that, right?
Case, I'm not exactly sure, but my guess is that it helps with because your flow gets heavier.
Okay.
I think a lot of times as you age.
All right. Calls from ladies who either approve or disapprove.
I want to hear.
Let's go to Rebecca. First of all, hi, Rebecca. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, that was well done, Rebecca.
Hey, Rebecca, what's up?
So I have been a cup wearer for many years. I actually started with the disposable soft cups, which are really easy to use, and you can actually wear them during sex.
All right, so let me just ask again, as a completely ignorant to this. So they make them in both disposable and reusable.
Yeah, so the disposable ones I just kind of wanted to start out with to try them out, but they do also work for 12 hours. So, like, you get that long-term use out of them.
Okay.
Versus a tampon, you know?
Yeah. And you prefer it?
I absolutely do. So it's super easy to use. So the new one that I use, the Diva Cup, there is like a suction that forms to prevent it from leaking. So I typically change in the shower.
Now,
you have to,
am I reading correctly that it says here on what you were going to comment on that you can have sex while you have it in?
absolutely. So there's another one that I got. I haven't tried yet, but it's similar to the soft cup. It doesn't have that little nub. So it's kind of more like a saucer, and it does not leak when you're having sex, and it doesn't poke anything that's poking in you.
Wow. Okay, and again, we're trying to slalom this because listen, there is so much.
Thank you, Rebecca.
We get away with as guys with not having to operate all this additional plumbing and concern and so on and so forth. So I would endeavor in every way to make it easier to to use. So I completely my heart and my accolades go to anyone who is attempting to juggle that kind of stuff.
Rochelle has had difficulty with it her entire life.
Oh my God.
Okay, so it's not easy for her.
No.
Every single time.
Yeah.
So she's got some above and beyond issues.
And it can be
it's very tough. And I feel horrible for her every time that it happens, and it's just she's been going to doctors for years to try and figure out what's wrong.
Yeah.
And they can't figure it out.
And you know that here no pun. It's like the clock is ticking to your next encounter with it, and
it's coming no matter what. Yeah.
So my friend who uses it just texted me, and she said, "No way, I would not have sex with it."
Okay. Well, I guess she said there's a different kind that's like a saucer. So
what does it say as far as the under the Joe Namath specs there?
But wait, I read about putting it in place, but there's also you can read about removing it, and the first step is wash your hands. The second step is relax.
Okay,
it's a picture of Joe Namath holding up a football guard with my cup, go deep.
Yeah, a couple. Hi, I'm Broadway Joe. Oh, my God.
Now, I'm not saying I know a lot about lady parts, but I do know.
All right, let me go to Kelly. Hey there, Kelly.
Good morning, it.
Good morning, Kelly. What's up?
I love this conversation so much. I've been encouraging my friends to switch for months now.
Okay, and are you being met with deaf ears, or are they opening up about it?
So I think they have the same concerns as Kathy with inserting, removing, and then how much it holds too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so much better than tampons.
Well,
many people say
it does
that,
make sense.
And once you go to it, you're never going to go back. Like when people who switch, they are committed to it.
Kelly, how long ago did you make the switch?
So I'm actually pretty new to it. I just switched over the summer.
Oh, okay.
And I'm actually pregnant now, so it's not like I need it.
Oh, so you don't need it right now.
Can I ask you also, so in the course of an average day, and Kathy, please feel free to chime in, I should say, how often would one normally replace a tampon during the course of a day?
Oh my God.
Go ahead, Kelly, yeah, depending on, I assume, what you're used to emitting.
And which day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say at least 5 to 6.
So
right?
5 to 6. So you could get away with this for like 12 hours?
That's what they
Oh
say.
yeah, I only use it 2 to 3. I probably switch it out 2 to 3 times a day.
Oh, I'd be in. I'd be in.
That would be
to avoid doing that 5-6 times a day to just doing one shot.
Oh my God! Yeah,
totally.
and Kelly,
I'm going to do it now.
Yeah.
Kelly, when you remove it, you wash it and then put the same one back in?
Yeah, so I just rinse it out. You boil it. You're supposed to boil it once.
Stick 'em in a
during the
stew.
cycle. So it's usually
Once during the
exactly.
cycle. Okay. Nice. And Kathy, like, we can buy you these as gifts and stuff, like different colors and things like that.
We can get you one that says "World's Best Boss."
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to get a menstrual cup in the mail now.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh my God.
Listen, we have loads of people on the line that want to talk about this. But we have to take a break. Can I go to one more?
Yeah,
I would like. Yeah, we
All right,
need to
let me go to
revisit
Rachel.
this.
Hi, Rachel. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, what's up, Rach?
Using the cup, Gadzooks. I've been using the cup for a while. I'm on my third one.
Okay.
You're supposed to throw them out about every 2 years, or a little less. But, there's a measuring tool on the inside. So, Kathy, you could actually measure how much you are letting go.
Okay.
Got it.
Oh, okay. So as you pull it out, it's got little notches on the side of it that tells you how much. Okay.
On the inside, it actually says like quarter ounce, half ounce.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So this
It's like a jigger. It's
exactly.
Like
yeah. On the rocks, please.
Right.
I'm a big fan. Good luck. I love it.
All right, Rachel.
Thank you,
Thanks for the
Rachel.
heads up.
That's what I mean. Anybody who uses them, that's what they say. Like you're never going to go back once
Listen,
you get it down.
Reducing the amount of times you have to swap it out.
Yep.
It appears to be less detrimental to the environment. Also, it appears to be just in general more hygienic.
Nick, did you see any negatives on the text board? Because I didn't see any, and I didn't see any negative calls either.
No, I mean just people who are eating their breakfast.
Well, yeah, I mean that's yes,
right.
Yeah,
of course.
But I'd say like for half the audience, this is a really relatable topic.
All right.
Most definitely.
Nice.
Okay, and those of us who are married are probably concerned about our ladies as well about that whole thing. So,
if you have yes.
I would like to applaud Kathy Romano for being so forthcoming.
No pun intended.
No pun intended with her personal life.
I will let you know how it goes. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Hey, I want to do a shout out real quick.
Sure.
And this shout out comes with a little postscript I'm going to read from the
skid mark.
The author. And it says, hey guys, my wife and I are big fans. Wanted to write and ask for a shout out of our 15th anniversary on December 13th. She is the love of my life. We listen every morning. So what better way to express my love and admiration than a big, greasy shout out? Love you guys for all the humor and for everything you do for the community. Thanks. That is it's for Jeff and Val Roth. So there's a shout out. And then Jeff writes, P.S. You would have no reason to remember this, but I used to intern for you guys back at Y100, and it was Preston, Marilyn, and Steve at the time. And just as a little time capsule, it was the summer of 1999. I was there when Preston ate off the toilets.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I may have even been the one of the ones who cleaned it beforehand. There was another stunt there where there were some angry geese that were attacking people by a pond, I think in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Either way, one of the other interns wore a bread suit. It was slices of Wonder Bread hot glued onto a clear rain suit to see if he could get the geese to attack him. It didn't work at all.
Was it Todd Brad we sent out?
I think so.
Yeah.
And they said the two songs I associate most with that summer are Smash Mouth All-Star and Sugar Ray Every Morning. Thanks again. That's from Jeff. Jeff, we've had so many interns throughout the years. It is hard to remember everybody. I'm sure if I saw you, I would remember you. You're going to need to send us a picture.
Send a picture, yeah.
I would like to see, because that goes back to the earliest days.
Let's make this a sort of a homecoming time. So if you were ever an intern on the show, because we've had a couple drop by recently. Send us some pictures. We'd like to see how you're doing.
And with that, thank you, Jeff. Nick just pulled up a video on YouTube, Steve, of Camp Out for Hunger at.
You were mentioning
that was at the Adams Mark Hotel.
So a listener named Dana Dillon sent us an email, Preston. I don't know. It came over like last night or earlier this morning. So this is from 2001 and on the now defunct WB17 News. And it's you guys outside with a bare bones broadcast setup, but Marilyn was a part of the show then as well. And so Dana brought her little son at the time, and he's featured in this video. And then she sent an updated photo with the two of them are having a beer together at a bar, and it's 21 years later or 22 years later. Yeah.
The video footage shows Commissioner Timoney was there. We had him on the air, and we were interviewing him at that point in time. That's crazy. And now her son, who is now 27, Steve, he's like 6 or 7, 8 years old, something like that.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
It reminds you, though, how austere our setup was. All the equipment exposed, adjacent to the RV. We've certainly grown a little bit.
Wow. Early 2000s, it said. That was like the second or third year that we did it.
Has to be.
Yeah, there's 2001 because in the news story, the anchor mentions the fact that the donations were lighter that year because so many people had made donations to post 9/11 tragedies and so and charities, I should say. So people were not donating as much. I guess it was the food bank back then, right? The Greater Philadelphia Food Bank.
Yeah.
We should do a, how it was and how it's going type of thing where we have this and then show you the current setup of Camp Out for Hunger. Because that is, and we never thought it would get any bigger than that.
We thought that was pretty badass.
Wow. Oh, that's crazy. All right. Well, anyhow, thanks for sharing that. We appreciate that. What was her name, Nick?
Dana Dillon.
Thank you, Dana. That was really cool. All right. We need to, we need to go to the Just Saying Institute.
All
folks.
right.
I saw some things that I thought were worth passing along.
The Just Saying Institute, home of the newly opened Just Saying Lanes featuring the Catherine Romano 710 Split Bar and Grill.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, you know what? And while we're doing this real quick, before I go into a story, I want to give away another gift card for Monterey Prime American Grill.
So you dip it in there.
Yeah, we'll take caller number 20. The lump crab fried rice is outstanding.
So Mr. McGrogan's very proud of that.
And the artichoke heart and spinach chip is phenomenal. So we'll take that caller. Did I say a number, caller?
20.
Okay, caller 20. What did I just say? 215-263-WMMR. And they brought in sliced 28-day aged New York strip and sweet potato puree on pan-roasted salmon with maple glaze and spiced pecan crumble. So thank you, guys.
We have Pacino.
They're next to the Aloft Hotel, and that's in Mount Laurel, New Jersey.
Yes.
All right, so sorry about that. Here we go.
We got distracted.
For the Just Saying Institute, we'll start with this. Seeing the glass as half empty might be better for your bank account, researchers from the University of Bath have found.
I should be rich then.
Are you you a bit of a pessimist?
Yeah, I think I'm half empty.
Okay. While we
in my soul,
I'm a hollowed out husk of a human.
While we may strive to be optimistic,
I just hate bowling.
A positive,
among other things,
viewpoint was linked to drops in numerical reasoning and memory, and those who were more realistic or pessimistic made better money moves. That's kind of interesting.
That is interesting. How would you describe yourself?
Man,
Are you more DJ or more foot model?
I am not really sure. I like to be optimistic, but find myself being pessimistic. You know what I mean? I can't really put myself in one camp or the other.
I agree. So I'm optimistic, but I use that as a creative visualization tool. However, I'm also pessimistic at times.
Right.
So I apply them when needed.
Okay, so like your optimism, I notice when you hear like someone is sick or they have a cancer diagnosis and you're immediately like, okay, you're going to beat this. It's going to be good. Hey, they've really advanced stuff, blah, 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 this and that. Not me.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's going to be a hard road and hopefully things will go well.
Right.
It could go bad.
So what you're hearing.
But I'm never, okay, yeah. We know what to do. This is it. You know, I'm like, man, a lot of stuff could go wrong.
Sure. What you're hearing is then that is my blend of creative visualization with optimism.
Yeah.
So I'm not a cockeyed optimist. I keep that in my pants. No, I am more. I'm more, but I'm a realist too.
Okay.
So, but I do believe in the.
I just enjoyed the pause.
Keep it in my pants.
You know what I say though, like, because I would love to be an optimist, right? But I find myself saying, no, this is reality. This is what I'm telling, you know, and other people don't see it like that. Other people will look at it, you know, like Steve and say, but look at all of, you know, whatever it is, if it's a sick person, you know, I'm like, but reality is their chances are they're not going to make it. Like, you know, I come back to reality and people, you know, try to push me away from that sometimes, people in my life.
Right.
I respond negatively to toxic positivity. And so like when people are just, hey, it's going to be fine. Everything's fine, right?
Yeah,
and it's not, right? Yeah. And so, Steve, like your diagnosis of something being, your tendency towards optimism if somebody has a cancer diagnosis, I don't think is that because you look at what is actually positive.
And anecdotally what happened to me.
Right. And you can say, hey, man, where we are now is versus 20 years ago, I think it's like an actual approach to it, to a real optimism. Preston, when it comes to this study, though, I feel like I am pessimistic when it comes to finances.
Okay.
And therefore, that makes me a little more prepared financially.
I see that.
Does that make sense?
I see that. Yeah, most definitely.
Because I feel like...
Hence Christmas trees from the state park.
I would say, Steve, hence frugality.
Frugality.
I will say this. In your defense, I've seen you be very generous as well.
Yeah.
I've seen you be very, you know, so...
Well, I'm not generous if I don't have money. And I know people who are very generous when they don't have money. And I appreciate that about them, but it makes me cringe a little bit. And I'm like, no, you can't afford that right now.
I hear what you're saying.
That's just me.
And I think that's why sometimes I feel I'm a little pessimistic as well because we... financial decisions are made with a conservative lean. You know what I mean? We don't really take risks.
Man, there's an issue going on with somebody who's close to me, and he's dealing with serious financial problems right now, and he is one of the biggest optimists I've ever met in my life. And like his attitude is wonderful and outgoing and great. And being around him, like you feel more positive when you're around him. Mm-hmm. And I found out some of his stuff about his finances. Like, holy crap, dude!
A Zeppelin,
right? You bought a ferry.
So specifically, optimism in this study was linked to more consumption and debt, as well as high risk activity when it came to employment and savings. And this may be in part because positive people might be deluding themselves.
Okay, that's where the line is drawn with me, that you've got to be practical and a pragmatist when it comes to that.
Yeah, plans based on overly optimistic beliefs make for poor decisions and are bound to deliver worse outcomes than would be realistic benefits, Kathy. Realistic.
Yeah.
Right. Word. So I thought that was interesting. So take that with a grain of salt.
So
if you would.
You took on a lot of risk opening up that bar and grill in the Just Saying Lane.
Yeah, Just Saying Lane.
The 7-10 split.
Just saying.
All right, let's do another story here. Health officials Friday released the first nationally representative estimate on how many U.S. adults have chronic fatigue syndrome. Now, this isn't just being tired. This isn't us being overworked and tired.
This is having to be dragged around.
This is a real syndrome. So 3.3 million people have chronic fatigue syndrome. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention's number is largely based on previous studies and suggested and is likely boosted by some of the patients with long COVID. Chronic fatigue is characterized by at least 6 months of severe exhaustion, not helped by bed rest. Patients also report pain, brain fog, other symptoms that can get worse with exercise, work, or other activity. There is no cure for it, and no blood test or scan can enable a quick diagnosis either. So it's like one of those things where eventually they go, oh, I guess you have chronic fatigue disorder. You know what I mean?
So does this blur the lines of things like Epstein-Barr and these other fatigue syndromes?
Yeah.
Like my sister has fibromyalgia.
Yeah, well, yes, that's horrible.
You think you have it?
No. I always say that was like when you have pain and they can't figure it out. So they're like, oh, you have this.
Yeah, and that's it's kind of a catch-all.
Right.
Like they can't figure it out.
Yeah.
You got this, and that is wrong with you, and they go, well, we're going to put that under the umbrella of fibromyalgia.
Oh, I can't tell you how many times before Dr. Mike I was diagnosed with pregnancy.
and this might be not exactly that, but it's a compound of things, and over time, and if they can't make a clear diagnosis, then it's like, okay, chronic fatigue syndrome.
Yeah, okay. So it's sort of a catch-all. So what are the What are the vague symptoms of this vague thing?
All right, so at least
but fatigue is a real thing.
Yeah, but what level of fatigue? It's funny, Preston. Both you and I we take thyroid medication,
right?
And I remember when I was going in for that. Well, what would be the symptoms I would look for? Well, are you tired? I do a morning radio show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
I am.
Well, you talk about the chronic fatigue. Like, okay, well, what categorizes it? Because I think I have it. Pretty sure I have it.
Well, here, I said that. 6 months of severe exhaustion not helped by bed rest.
Yeah.
What about 6 months of immobile moaning?
Reported pain, brain fog, and other symptoms that get worse after exercise, work, or other activity.
So I have the converse. When I exercise, I feel more plugged in.
Yeah,
I feel so. Actually, for me, taking a nap, I friggin' envy you, and there's a little bit of hatred too about your sleeping ability, which is staggering. But I wish I could do that. I can't. And so, but exercise and staying on my schedule
helps you.
Helps me.
Well, sleep helps me. Not in the middle of the day. That will make me feel worse. But if I get on the weekends, if I get a good night rest, I feel better.
If I can lay down, and which I can, and Kyle is amazed by it because I'll go crawl under the desk. And I will lay down and fall asleep for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
And that is enough for me to go, I feel better
You
now.
feel better,
Now,
yeah.
if I lay down for an hour and a half, I'm going to be dragging the rest of the day. So I've got it figured out, But by the way, the condition rose to prominence nearly 40 years ago when clusters of cases were reported in a place called Incline Village, Nevada.
Oh, that's Lake Tahoe.
And and Lindenville, New York.
Yeah, I got lost in Incline Village one time. That's why I know where it is.
Some doctors dismissed it as psychosomatic, and they used to call it the yuppie flus.
Yeah, I remember. So the yuppie flu, Epstein-Barr, all of these things were in that same sort of laconic, energy deficient sort of mindset diagnosis. I remember this I know people who've had people who have actually had clinical diagnosed conditions like this. I see it as a very dramatic difference between I'm just tired.
Right.
These people are
exhausted,
dragging.
Yeah. So among the other findings, the syndrome was more common in women than men and in white people compared with some other racial and ethnic groups. Those findings are consistent with earlier smaller studies. However, the findings also contradicted long-held perceptions that chronic fatigue syndrome is a rich white woman's disease. There was less of a gap between women and men than some previous studies suggested, and there was hardly any difference between white and black people. The study also found that a higher percentage of poor people said that they had it than affluent people. So those stereotypes are not true, apparently, according to this particular study. But yeah, they're saying it's more prominent than they had realized. 3.3 million people in the U.S. alone have chronic fatigue syndrome. That's
pretty
gotta
wild.
suck.
Yeah.
If you are just absolutely wiped out all the time, I mean, I have.
You know when it won't suck? If you have a Sleep Number bed.
That's true. You're gonna dive
love it.
right in there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what else we have here. Just Sayin Institute. Content creator Kaylee has caused a bit of a stir on TikTok when she revealed that she hasn't worn a bra in 5 years.
Oh, lucky little thing.
Well, the software engineer said that without bras, muscles become strong and breasts will support themselves.
Yeah, but she has small boobs. She probably has small boobs.
Dr. Lucky Sayin
Lucky?
agrees. Yeah, that's the name.
That's the doctor? This is Skip. This is my neurosurgeon, Biff.
She said women who have gone long periods without wearing a bra often report that this leads their breasts to be firmer, rounder, and perkier over time.
If they have small, there's no woman with a giant breast that is making this comment.
So she has more.
Look at her.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are they small?
They're smaller.
No, that's the doctor. But the woman, Kaylee, the content creator on TikTok, I don't...
Call up Kaylee.
How do you spell Kaylee?
Just Kaylee. And so you're going to find a bunch of people, I would imagine, that have a TikTok account that start with Kaylee.
Just put Kaylee small boobs upsetting Kathy.
No bra.
Busty Asians.
Yeah.
So it says here that the idea of not wearing a bra causes drooping is a misconception.
No,
I would say doing some sort of exercise regimen that might help strengthen your pectoral muscles could help as well. But I think Kathy, my wife is smaller and which looks great because she stays perpetually perky, but I mean, I don't think you have a rat's ass chance of
Never. My boobs will never be perky. They never were perky. And I'm looking at this girl's video, and she's holding up her teeny little tiny bra. That's so cute.
Marissa, do you ever go braless?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm in a weird in between. I remember trying on a dress once. I saw Nicole Richie wear, and I was like, oh, I could pull that off. And like, I'm not that small. So
Right, you have boobs. Yeah.
So I usually wear a bra.
Okay.
They look better in a bra.
Now, I have seen you when you get all gussied up, where you're like,
Yeah, one of my necklines.
one time, man, you were all, like hanging out, and I'm like, wow.
Is that when you felt her up?
No.
No.
You remember that?
That was the
That was the Halloween party. Yeah. Well, you thought it was a chicken cutlet or whatever.
It was.
Yeah.
But
One of my favorite necklines is like all the way down the center. So
Yeah.
you kind of get like side cleavage.
Totally.
Yeah.
What do
In
you do
between
then?
cleavage. Tape it in. Like you
You'll
tape,
use,
tape
like,
the
this-
dress on.
You don't use a hot glue gun?
But no, that would hurt coming
Yeah.
off, I think. They do have this tape that you put onto your boob and you kind of like pull it up.
Yeah.
And it like stays up there.
It
Okay.
stays up for people with your bra size. It
That's
does
what-
not stay up for people with my bra size. So you put it on,
Yeah.
and then the tape slowly slides down and then falls off.
Wouldn't that hurt too if it's pulling on your
it's
skin?
like listen, it's a great concept, and it works for some people. I wish it worked for me. I tried them. They don't work for me.
What if there was a turnbuckle system that went over your shoulders,
high in the back.
right?
Steve, I had to stop. So for a long time when I was younger and thinner, halter tops were my thing because I could kind of keep them in and would give myself cleavage. At some point I had to stop wearing halter tops because it would hurt my neck.
Oh my God.
Really?
Because you have that.
Yes.
You have this one thing around your neck,
And it was holding all of the weight.
Ooh, is that from the new turnbuckle line?
Wait, the instructions for using this tape, if you have boobs like Kathy's size, are you put like one piece down and then you put another piece around and then another piece on the side and then another piece on the inside.
It's like a mini reduction, like where they would where they would cut.
let me ask you guys this: Have you heard of? I've heard of more women getting reductions now, which is a fairly invasive thing to do, right?
It's more invasive than implants.
Than augmentation. Yeah.
I have a friend who is getting her implants removed today or tomorrow, and she's had them in for 20 plus years.
I think implants are different though than
they are
the reduction.
But for her, the cosmetic nature of having bigger boobs is no longer appealing.
Right.
So she's tired of having them in there, and she got them when she was pretty young, like late teens, early 20s, and now she's like, yeah, I don't need them anymore.
Rochelle got a lift several years ago.
Yeah, and she didn't get a reduction then?
She did not get a reduction.
She just got a lift.
Yeah, just a lift.
If I may ask, what do they do during that? Is it the turnbuckle system?
It's a turnbuckle. No, I've forgotten. It was a long time ago. It was
Are they
several
still
years
lifted?
ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look awesome.
So it lasted.
Yeah, you want to come by and see sometime?
Check out her knockers.
The only thing left to do.
I mean, you've seen
so
her
you've seen
vagina,
birth,
so
her vagina. You've
yeah.
seen that. You go see this, and then you just have to watch her take a dump, and then you got the troika.
I mean, I'll say I was at Club Risque a few months ago. Sarah and I had an appearance there, and like fake boobs are not what's in right now.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, not
Which
as
I
much
approve.
as they used to. I agree.
Lot of tattoos.
I'll tell you what is the more athletic look. I think I'm seeing a lot more, or at least I'm seeing a lot more. Not fitness, but I mean, yes, there's a lot more attention to fitness, and then there's all body positivity things out there.
Hang on, Chris is on the line. Hey, Chris, good morning.
How you doing? Good morning.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
How you doing? Nothing. It's nice to thank you for letting me comment.
Yeah.
Or soon to be.
You're on now.
You're on, Chris.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hello, Steve, Chris. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, nice to see you guys or hear you guys. I just did that with my wife, so to speak, with the tape and the turnbuckle idea. We and what Marissa was saying, and putting that clear tape around her neck, actually, and holding.
Chris, where did you bury her?
It'll be best if you confess now.
We are friends. We want to help you, but we can't help you unless you.
A good plea deal.
She's up there right now. We can talk.
She's up in heaven.
No, he's tied her upstairs in the attic.
I got you.
Yeah.
With the tape. Yeah, with
the tape. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, but you did it. And did it work out all right? The turnbuckle system, Chris?
To concur with Kathy and Marissa, no, it did not work.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Yeah.
More extensive a prototype
Okay.
All right. We have to work on the prototype.
Appreciate it, Chris. All right.
A friend of mine used not duct tape, but it was like a pretty strong tape, and it's okay, I guess, to pull off, but you don't want to get it on the nipple. And she got like a little. She said it was. She said it was so painful, and she knew throughout the night. She's like, coming off, this is not going to be good.
Do you know what's funny? So, if you talk about garments and about I was bemoaning the fact that they have not really ever improved the smaller zipper over the years. They still end up, splitting, or the teeth pop out or whatever. Bra technology, for all intents and purposes, hasn't really changed much, right? I mean, has there been an innovation for you?
No.
For what you deal with?
There was like a couple where I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to work. This is going to be great. Not really.
Not really.
It's gotten better, I'd say. There's people like Rihanna, like her Fenty line is more inclusive for all sizes, from like tiny to bigger, and making them a
They
little
always
sexier.
had bigger bras.
Yeah, but she makes them a little sexier at least.
Well, I'm talking about actual,
I've-
because if you are, like Kathy was talking about with the neck or the back pain, there should be a way,
Yeah, and
an engineer should be able to work out a way to evenly distribute weight load.
And Steve, they tried with that, with like
Back
on
boobs?
the like on the
Counter
shoulders,
boobs.
and like
Yeah.
smoothing everything out, because it is kind of like
yeah.
weighing it. It doesn't really work.
By the way,
Not
Marissa,
really.
I agree. Bras have gotten very sexy recently. Like the one the thing Rochelle was wearing this the other day. It's whatever that extra strap that goes over the top.
Oh, yeah.
I think that is so hot. I think it's very, very sexy.
That's the turnbuckle.
No, it's not the turnbuckle. All right. By the way, a 15-year study from the University of Besançon, I don't know, found that women who did not wear bras had higher nipples than those who did.
Right, like on their forehead.
So if you want your higher nipples,
You've got pimples.
you gotta take that.
Well, I'm curious to see, do a long-term study on this to see if simply going braless forces your body to reinforce the musculature required to lift everything up.
I wonder if you guys would know. If I came in with no bra on, would you
Are
know?
you serious?
What?
We would know right away.
No, you would.
I
No,
look
if
at
you
your
were
boobs
wearing-
all the time. Every day. It's the first thing I look at when you walk through the door.
If you were wearing something like you're wearing today, I'm not sure. You're wearing all right, maybe.
I don't know.
You're wearing a sweater.
You're being too nice.
Well, because like in my mind, I can't even. The Amazon guy rang the doorbell, and I had just gotten and I was like, I go downstairs and answer the door.
Right.
Like I couldn't. To me, it's like blatantly obvious. Or I would
Leave
think
it
okay.
outside.
Well, now I'm kind of curious. You should go take it off.
What my boobs look like when they.
No, just in a sweater.
Yeah,
You're
when they
very covered up.
Well, no, let's do it next week, and it'll be like Russian roulette. We
pick a
won't
day,
know what day it's going to happen.
We won't
We'll
know.
try. You by the end of the week, you tell us what day you.
Here's
went
what we'll
braless.
do. We'll put Kathy on the table. We'll spin her around.
I wouldn't walk around with.
Kathy, try it at a Christmas Miracle on Wednesday. See if
I'll do jumping jacks.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, just saying. Let's go to something else here. All right, imagine seeing someone sneeze or look unwell and then feeling your body start to react as if you too might get sick.
Oh, immediately.
This isn't just in your head. It's a real biological response, as recent research by Dr. Patricia Lopes, a biology professor at Chapman University, shows. Usually, when we think of getting sick, we focus on the person who is ill. But Dr. Lopes' study reveals something fascinating. Infections affect more than just the sick person. They can trigger changes in the bodies and behaviors of others around them, even if they aren't actually sick.
Are these people more inclined to be hypochondriacal? Yes, I use that word.
It does not say in this particular study.
It's got to be. I will tell you, this happened to me this morning. Casey is not here. Casey touched me yesterday, and I go, "Ew, don't touch me." I go,
But you always say that.
I go, "You're sick as hell." And so this morning, I asked Preston. I go, "Oh, does Casey have COVID, or do we know what?" And he was like, "He goes, no, I think he just kind of went downhill. He doesn't feel good." Immediately, I was like, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I feel a tickle.
My throat hurts.
I feel a tickle in my throat." I have like immune boosting vitamins here. I immediately took 2 of them. I was like, I'm not feeling good. Oh my gosh,
when
my
you're
head.
taking care, so if Chase is sick and you're taking care of him, do you start to assume the symptoms?
No.
See, how does that happen?
I don't. With
Yeah.
him, it's like who else is going to take care of him? Nobody.
Right,
So
right.
I have to. I have no choice.
Well, this is interesting. There's something even more intriguing here. It says just seeing someone who is sick can trigger a protective response in our bodies. And that's probably what happens to you, Kathy. This response is our body's way of preparing to fight off potential threats. Animals that interacted with sick individuals activated their immune systems and even changed the way they produce eggs. Like they'll poach them instead of
absolutely.
scramble.
You got to have a variety, and it wouldn't hurt to eat some bacon.
It says it's like our bodies are trying to protect us before we even get sick, and it shows how interconnected we are and how our health can be influenced by those around us. Dr. Lopes's work sheds light on this complex interaction, helps us understand that health is not just individual matter, but a communal one as well. So your body can actually start to prepare itself just by seeing someone else who is sick and exhibiting symptoms. That's
So I wonder
interesting.
if someone who's inclined to do this, if they were to watch medical shows, would that affect them?
I bet
like
it
Grey's Anatomy.
I bet it wouldn't because you know.
Yeah.
I would say internally is not right the word. Subliminally, you know that you're not going to get sick because you're not in proximity to that person.
Right. There's less. Okay, I got it.
You know what I mean?
There is a chance.
Yeah.
Albeit maybe a small one.
If somebody is around you, and then your body automatically starts to set up and get ready for it. I thought that was kind of interesting. All right, here we go. Another one from the Just Saying Institute.
We're learning a lot from the Just Saying Institute.
There's some good stuff here, and the scientists and researchers are always working at the
Yes,
JSI.
absolutely, if they're not bowling.
An international analysis of couples discovered a negative potential side effect of being married. It's associated with higher blood pressure. The findings, which were published in the Journal of American Heart Association, showed married Americans were 9% more likely to have high blood pressure if they were married.
Interesting, because I would say this. The times I feel the most relaxed and the most centered is when I'm hanging out with Claire.
Right.
You know? Now, obviously, if we have a tiff.
Yeah, I was just going to say it. It's probably more, right? Like, out of anybody else, if you have an argument with your spouse as opposed to someone else, it's probably going to be more impactful.
Does blood pressure have anything to do with anxiety, though?
Yeah, it does.
It does?
Yeah, it should. I mean, that's my understanding. I may be talking out of my high blood pressure ass.
Are you talking about anxiety or being anxious? Because they're different things. Like a medical diagnosis of having anxiety is not the same thing as...
Okay, no.
So, for example...
Being anxious, so I'm not sure if it's... I know your heart rate can go up if you're anxious.
Right.
But I don't know, how is your blood pressure and your heart rate connected? Those are two different things.
I will know
what
this.
I mean?
So, for example, during the blood drive, if you get the cuff is on you and they're checking your blood pressure, I've heard them say that if someone is anxious about what's going to happen, that the blood pressure can read as higher.
I got it. Yeah, I have it here. Surges of anxiety can cause blood pressure spikes, but these are typically temporary. Over time, however, chronic anxiety can begin to have an adverse effect on someone's baseline blood pressure.
Okay, so they are interconnected.
There you go.
What does it have to do with bra size?
So it doesn't. This could be due to the couple having a similar lifestyle. That's why you may have higher blood pressure. The study highlighted potential benefits to improving healthy habits together. The researcher said making lifestyle changes such as being more active, reducing stress, or eating a healthier diet can all reduce blood pressure. And however, these changes may be difficult to achieve and, more importantly, sustain if your spouse or partner are not making changes with you. So that means because it is easier if you're eating healthy, if you're
exercising,
engaged in healthy activities,
smoking crack.
It's better when you've got a partner that's doing it with you.
Well,
it's
yes,
easier.
or just in general that you compliment each other. Like you look pretty. You know, if that you're what you're doing complements each other. Yes, I agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah. So then that's a no-brainer right there. So being married can raise your blood pressure, but you should make sure that you're both trying to engage in some healthy activities.
Right.
All right. Let's go over to the mental health department of the Just Saying Institute. An annual survey by the American Psychological Association concludes Americans are seeking psychological help in record numbers.
I bet you I know. Well, obviously it's the world we live in, but I'll also hazard this guess. For the first time, and I think it was a product of the pandemic, you can seek therapy vis-a-vis Zoom chat.
Yes, like BetterHelp, the company that I endorse.
Right.
Yeah, it's all online.
They are providing that. So your sense you might be more inclined to do it that way as an entree, or maybe as the only thing you do.
I did. That's when I started seeing a therapist, was during COVID, and I did it all via Zoom.
And you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Good results.
I also think there's more awareness of mental health issues and encouraging people to get help for it.
Yeah, and much less of a stigma. I mean, and that's a slow erosion, but it's getting more and more accepted to just go see a therapist and not think twice about it.
Yeah, agreed. It used to be shameful to admit that you were in therapy,
To use a bowling analogy. You perceive yourself as always throwing gutter balls, Kathy.
It's never going to
And you don't see the potential
Not today.
for the turkey.
Of a strike and a turkey, man. Yeah. By the way, Casey had told me, I wish he was here. He has all the bowling terms because he was a long time bowler. I think there's a...
the turkey is 3 strikes in a row, right?
It is. Yeah. But when you get a strike, and if you're right-handed and the ball hits the left side of the lead pin, I think it's called a Brooklyn.
A Brooklyn.
Or something like that.
If you have to put some English on the ball?
Yeah, you definitely have to put English on it.
Man, I'm terrible.
And what's docking?
I'm not any good at either. That's when two guys take their penis. Never mind. We'll talk about that off
Nothing to do with bowling.
That's a carry down you're talking about.
A carry down?
Yeah, sure. Or a pancake.
How confident Marissa sounded.
That's a carry down.
Yeah, sure.
Got her phone
that's
out.
what it is.
Talking my language.
Yeah, we got revs, we got a skid.
A skid? What's a skid?
Reaction of the ball as if it first makes contact with the lane, Preston.
Come on.
That's a skid.
What's a rev?
skid.
Wait, I gotta go back up to R. Rev is number of times the ball rolls over the circumference of the lane.
Yeah, revolutions.
Okay.
Yeah.
The revs.
Elaine.
All right, well, anyway, back to therapy.
Right. And bowling.
More than half of the psychologists surveyed have waiting lists for new patients, and they say that people are seeking help in coping with issues including anxiety, depression, trauma.
What if you're getting anxious over your wait time to go see your therapist?
And stress-related disorders. The study's authors blame the lingering effects of the pandemic and the many changes that it brought about in people's daily lives as well.
A study, I forget where it was, but probably one suitable for the Just Sayin Institute. The amount of damage caused by that the lockdown and people's reactions, and we'll be dealing and unfolding the ramifications of this for a long time. But again, Preston, the point of therapy being a very good option, and once with the stigma removed, it can really change lives.
Yeah, and even though most of that is behind us at this point, or in large part, like the ramifications are still there, and so if you need therapy, go see a therapist. Preston, those long lines are particularly true amongst teenagers. Young people are having a really hard time finding suitable therapists at this point.
Right.
Still,
What they need is a Fonzie-like role model to look up to, and I'm here if you need me.
By the way, somebody texted and said, Preston, you are correct. It's called a Brooklyn, but around here, they call it a Jersey.
A Jersey?
Yes.
I get, because it's a different location.
Exactly. Hang on. Bob can comment on all the bowling terms. Hi, Bob. Good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, buddy. All right, so what are some interesting bowling terms we might not be familiar with?
Well, like you said, that some people call it Brooklyn, but here in Philly, we call it a Jersey.
Okay.
I guess, the left side.
Yeah.
And Steve's right. It is a turkey when you get 3 strikes in a row.
Any other cool terms like that?
When you get 4 strikes in a row, it's a ham bone.
A ham bone.
I didn't know that.
Well, any other names for perfect games?
A lucky guy.
A lucky guy.
All right, besides the 7-10 split, do other splits have names?
Not that I could think off the top of my head. Sometimes, in the little derogatory terms, you get ones or a couple look like missing teeth there. Don't make some,
Okay.
What's a turd cutter?
I got you. All right. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you. You guys rock.
All right.
Thank you.
Strike hard, brother. Just trying to throw in a cool new bowling term that I
bowl like the wind.
Strike hard. Bowl like the wind.
Strike hard.
All right.
Good shoes forever.
All right. Marissa, anything else, or can we move on to another one?
She's on X Hamster now.
Yeah,
Okay.
the rest are pretty lame.
Let's go over to another Just Sayin Institute story. All right. It's no surprise that more babies are conceived over the holidays, resulting in a summer baby boom. And it's easy to assume that adults are spending more time together over the holidays. But a study that was published in the Obstetrics and Gynecological or Gynecology magazine suggest a biology component may be at play.
So there is an actual biological element that makes the likelihood of conceiving children higher around the holidays?
Correct. Around this holiday, around the end of the year.
I am intrigued.
Researchers found that male sperm favors colder temperatures
and thrives on eggnog.
And sperm quality improves in the winter.
Well, yes. Isn't that the thing that the old I don't know if it's a wives' tale, but that you the chillier the nutsack, the more productive the baby batter.
There is.
Yes, my mom had that crochet.
Now remember,
on the wall.
son, the chillier the nutsack, the more robust the baby batter. Say it with me.
Hold on, I'm going to look this up before I make a comment.
Researchers found that male sperm favors the colder temperatures, like I said, when with normal sperm production were found to have the healthiest sperm in winter and early spring.
Right.
Winter sperm were also faster.
The summer sperm came fresher.
Additionally, ovums were found to be more receptive to sperm in the wintertime as well. So overall, biologically, our bodies, both male and female, want to conceive at that time of year.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting.
Maybe it's a biological thing in that it knows that 9 months later, the weather is going to be warmer and easier to give birth and raise a child. I mean, going back in evolution. When you lived outside.
So when you were more likely to be spending more time, if it's an inclement weather, in a cave situation around a fire,
unless you're near the equator, they just get pregnant all the time.
They can't stop pumping.
Yeah, it looks like Steve is correct about the cooler testicle temperatures.
Okay.
Did they use my exact verbiage?
Healthy sperm, yeah.
By the way, I was thinking of winter. Would the same be, I guess, in Australia and, in the southern hemisphere, where our winter is their summer.
Yes.
Do they call the warmer time summer there? I assume they do, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
so
Well,
Christmas is in summer for Australia.
I would be certain of that. When it gets warmer, you tend to, and then their language is a English-based,
Yeah, remember those fires that they had a few years ago? That was during Australian summer, but it was during our winter.
Okay. All right.
So, and again, the big revelation, I think we're talking about this, Nick, that you can actually go ski Australia, snow skiing.
Yeah,
you forget that they have
that's right.
peaks that accommodate snow.
Matt used to chase the seasons. He would be
Oh,
down
would he
in
do
New
that?
Zealand. Yeah, he
Wow.
would go snowboard.
He's like
during,
Bodie.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Back off for him, Marissa.
Australians celebrate
Seriously.
Christmas twice a year.
What?
Once in December and then again in July.
Well, Christmas in July.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
old
We do that
routine.
too.
But I guess they do that so it falls more
Cold.
into the Santa Claus.
I guess. Because
Yeah.
it is so warm.
Right. But
on
Santa,
December 25th.
Yeah, December 25th is, they don't have two of them.
But maybe Santa makes 2 trips a year.
I'm tired
in
of this.
Australia and never knew about it.
Good day.
I didn't know that. Wow. All right, let's see what else we got here. And we're not done. at
No,
Just Saying
there's
It.
so much research yet to be done.
Yeah, I want to do it.
We need your money.
I want to
Just saying.
I want to do it.
Send
Are
your
we
donation.
now taking
Yes.
donations?
So much needs to be learned, but we've just begun. Send your donation to the Just Saying Institute, care of the Kathy Romano 710 Split Bar and Grill.
Oh my God.
We should do that sometime. We should start raising funds for
the Just Saying
JSI.
Institute.
All right,
And then keep the money. That'd be the best.
One last story. If you watch game shows, you may have noticed that contestants seem to blink more often. But why? A University of Arizona study tracked data on 100 contestants and found that they tended to blink at the beginning of each question and the start of their response.
Is that more because they tend to put their contestants on psychedelics?
No, I don't think so. They blinked less often when thinking about their answer. This suggests that blinks act as a sort of punctuation of thought. The stress of the game show may have also played a role. Contestants blinked nearly twice as often when compared to people at rest. So it's your mind working,
right?
When you blink like that, for whatever reason, it's an action that will, I don't know, kind of distract your own brain or something like that.
It's possibly a physical manifestation of you thinking.
What do you guys do when you think?
I vomit.
You're trying to be in a conversation. I look up.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so Sarah does that a lot. She'll, when she's talking, Sarah Parker, we'll look up.
Okay.
When
Yeah.
she's talking and thinking about something.
They used to say that was a sign of lying or preparing to lie,
Right.
and have since backtracked on that.
Right,
That
because
that's
they
not
said they were
al-
lying when they said that.
That's not always the case. That immediately when you look up that you're about to lie.
Yeah.
You can just use it as you're just kind of searching for the answer.
I find that I'm just trying to figure out. I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out the right words to say in a way that makes sense.
You don't want to make eye contact with someone.
Well, yeah. When I make eye contact, I get distracted by
Yeah.
the fact that I'm making eye contact with that person, so I lose the train of thought.
I can't read it. There's no words
And
on
what
it.
I'm trying to say. I don't know how, honestly, like, you play the O'Reilly clip. I don't know how newscasters are able to ever think when looking at the camera, when concentrating on being on camera and reporting accurately. I could never do that as a news reporter or a sports reporter. Or whatever.
You're talking about like a news anchor.
I mean, like a Michael Barkan or John Clark. When those guys are doing their jobs and they're both really, really good at it. Or Taryn Hatcher. She's another example. Like watching them do their jobs and report and think and talk into the camera all at the same time. I find that to be an incredible skill.
So one of the things, I have this little, studio set up at home, and I'm doing the switching myself, and I could do these little videos for like the comic book gurus or whatever. The process of doing a conversation, and like, I always think of Harry Shearer in Wayne's World too. Like, you can't, to be dialed into the conversation and or listening to a feedback to the studio or any distraction like that. I can't do that. I have difficulty doing that. And you must have done it when you were doing traffic, Kathy, right? For NBC 10?
What with
like you're getting
the
directions?
IFB.
Yeah. And you get
get used to it?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
I got used to. That really didn't bother me so much, But Nick, I think like with the cameras, well, obviously they do it every day,
And they have teleprompters.
but like almost with us, like we know that there are tons of people listening, but really we're just in a room talking, and I think that's sort of the same for them. Like they're really just looking at something and talking. The people are on the other side. They can't see.
Yeah,
them.
that's a good point.
There's a scene in the movie Broadcast News, which is a great movie, and Holly Hunter's a producer, and William Hurt is an anchor, and he's live, and they're doing a live. There's an event that happened, and they have to cover it, and she's in his ear she's going, "Good job, that's good, yes, very good," and she's just complimenting him as he is speaking. And he just keeps going and going and going.
Bring
And
up bring up the ambassador's recent trip to, and he does.
Yeah.
And then afterwards he goes, because it's just like sex.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. He was totally turned on by it. But it's an art, and it's one I guess you got to get used to. But but apparently we will blink when we are thinking about. Or no, it says they blinked less often when thinking about the answer. This suggests that blinks acts some sort of punctuation thought. The stress of the game show may have also played a role, and the circumstances would have been difficult to replicate in a lab, though. They said this is exactly what we need to study, the psychophysiology of real human behavior and real human thinking.
So that we can better perfect the game show experience?
Yes. So we can bring you...
Good news, folks. We might be bringing concentration back.
Right.
With your money, we can bring back win, lose, or draw.
What was it? What did we play the other day on the air? On air, Preston, you played Perfection, or is that what it was?
Yeah,
that was the little kids game.
When we were playing that, were you able to focus on your job of talking on the microphone at the same time?
Actually, I was, because I was narrating what I was doing.
Okay,
But you had
which
to
is
stop.
pretty easy.
Yeah,
you had to stop, and we had Casey do the color commentary, if you remember. Because she said, I have to concentrate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Midway through, you're like, I can't talk. I'm thinking.
Oh, okay.
I'm blinking.
Don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me. I'm
Don't
blinking.
talk to me. I'm blinking.
Your jump at the end of that was so cute.
It legitimately scared me. It absolutely scared me. All right. Well, that's it, gang. Thanks for swinging by the Just Saying Institute, and don't forget to grab a bite to eat
At the Kathy Romano 710 Split Bar and Grill.
That's right. In the new Just Saying Institute
Just Saying Lanes.
Yeah. All right. You know what? Let's give away another gift card. Our friends at Monterey Prime American Grill have brought in some scrumptious food this morning. And you can go there and take advantage of it. So we'll take caller number 16 at 215-263-WMMR. They brought amazing desserts as well that pair very nicely with the main courses. New York-style cheesecake, chocolate eclipse, 3-layer cake, which looks insanely decadent. and chocolate chip and bourbon bread pudding with salted caramel sauce.
Son of a bitch.
Make your reservations today at MontereyGrill.com, and you will find them in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. They're on Fellowship Road, and they're right next to the Aloft Hotel. MontereyGrill.com. Caller number 16. That gift certificate is for you. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve. 93.3 WMMR. What's new?
Glad you asked. The Struts. Think I'm getting
Keep it updated. Let's start posting your flow chart.
Okay. And let's add Joe Namath and see if you can get an endorsement.
Yeah. Sometimes when I play golf, I will get something stuck in my head. Either it's a song or something somebody said. And because you're spending a lot of time, walking and your mind is free to just think. And these things pop in my head and they will play for 4 hours over in my head. Yesterday, I had the weirdest one.
Yeah.
And it made me realize that I think I would have been a good husband to Kathy.
To Kathy?
No, you would not have.
I'll explain.
All right.
So all that was going through my head yesterday was... Baba Ganoush! Say it, Kathleen.
Baba Ganoush!
And what I realized is that's how she calls our wolf, Boltar, by screaming Baba Ganoush. But I realized that I actually like the sound of Kathy's voice when she's yelling at you.
Really?
Hence, I would have made a good husband.
I have not developed that like
Kathy
yet.
Romano. I know.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you would be a good husband. That means that you would just enjoy a lot of the anger.
Yeah, which means I'd be a good husband.
Yeah,
You're angry most of the time. So, no, but I realized I like the sound of her voice when she gets mad or when she starts yelling. And I know some.
You find it amusing.
I do.
Though to be in close proximity to it constantly would not be as enjoyable.
I see some of the text sometime that it drives people crazy when Kathy gets all fired up about something. I like it. I mean, I think just the sound of her voice, whatever it is, the resonance of your voice when you yell.
Here's the difference, though.
I like it.
You hop in your car and you go home.
I go home. I don't have to live with it.
Right.
Trust me.
So you're like, wow, that seems great.
Yeah.
That's I just.
What does that mean,
people,
Steve?
With my wife, they say you must laugh and laugh and laugh all the time.
Right.
And then they say, yeah, I laugh and laugh all the time.
But I find it entertaining when Kathy gets fired up and starts yelling about something. And I've realized it's the actual sound of her voice, not necessarily what she's saying.
Let's cut to the real chase here.
Yeah.
Marissa or Kathy, if you had to marry one.
Marry one?
And as you said, you could, be in close proximity.
Yeah.
Which one?
I love the tones of your yelling voice, Kathy, but I would marry Marissa in a heartbeat.
Are you sure
over
Kathy
you.
can cook?
She can?
No.
She can't. Are you crazy?
Cooks.
Marissa can't cook. I know that.
Preston would be doing the cooking. That's not even on the table.
I don't know, man. Marissa's pretty controlling.
Not as controlling as her.
I don't know.
All right,
wait.
All right, Kathy, on the show here of the guys.
Oh God.
Oh.
It's you started it, Preston, with this realization that you're madly in love with Kathy. Who on the show would you pick as the best husband? Not lover or, into your crazy S&M stuff.
Okay, all right. Just husband-wise?
Just husband-wise.
Marissa.
Now you have to pick one of the guys.
I thought it might be Steve because Steve is in schmoopy doopy cool.
She doesn't like that, though.
Oh,
Do
really?
you really think that I would
Okay.
be like
She's not going to answer. You want to know why?
I love you.
She's not going to answer because
well, let me think about
me.
it.
It's not. See, I knew you'd think that. Just on a basic level.
No. Here,
Think about it.
Don't answer for me.
There she
Will you marry me?
Yeah.
I love it.
It would have to be, honestly, I'm not joking, the most organized person. And I think, Casey, that's definitely not you because I've seen your closet. I think it's going to have to be Steve.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're pretty organized, aren't
He's
you?
very organized.
I am pretty organized.
He puts things in right
some
angles.
level. Though I would say this, I am bizarrely, I will do like this. I will keep things at angles.
Yeah.
I'm not as clean as you are, Like
we could get a cleaning lady.
All right. I thought Nick might be that if you're talking organizationally.
Are you serious?
I mean, not with his post-war Berlin look at a station here.
This is the only space I have.
Yeah. By design.
Yeah, I know. But I allow you, Kathy, to throw my stuff away. I don't care. Like if there's accumulation of crap, it's fine with me if you grab it and toss it.
Okay.
Who?
Okay, good.
All right, Marissa. Who would you? Because Marissa, you don't want to get married at all, though.
No, I would never want to settle down. Just kidding, Mom. I don't know. I don't want to choose.
It's not an insult.
See, but she's got 4 to choose from, and we just have 2, so it's pretty easy for us.
It's okay.
Well, technically, Steve lives in the city.
That's important to you.
Because I'm paying city taxes, I'm much more attractive. Yes.
No, I don't know. You guys all have your own good qualities.
I would pick you for Preston. We can make it happen.
He does play instruments. I do like guys that play instruments.
There we go. You would call them musicians, right?
He has a beard, kind of, a little bit.
Facial
He
hair.
likes cheese. Has a beard.
He likes cheese.
He loves cheese.
I love cheese.
There you go.
Well,
He's a good cook.
We are meant to be.
It's a
Preston.
match made in
Swimming in
heaven.
brie. What's that?
Because you do these things as you start when you're in the dating. There's and the check columns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Cheese?
Cheese.
Hair?
Beard. His beard is made of cheese.
Kathy, do you think I'm attractive?
Wow. All the Buckle Bunnies laughed.
Now I have to reveal it.
We're excited to have our next guest on, and outside of acting, he has a whole world of music and is bringing that here to the Philadelphia area. It was just announced he's going to be playing Ardmore Music Hall on March 12th.
It's a great venue.
Tickets will go on sale tomorrow for the show, so please welcome Kiefer, William Frederick, Dempsey, George, Rufus, Sutherland. This morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
That's what the Wikipedia page calls you, Kiefer, but I had no idea you had so many middle names.
Yeah, I think my father was in a lot of debt when I was born, and I think he just kept telling people that I'll name my son after you if you forgive the bill.
Wow. Well, that's a way to approach it.
Kiefer, so question about the show at Ardmore Music Hall. Is this a full band? Is this you and a guitar, acoustic? What kind of show is it going to be?
It's going to be acoustic. So part of the show is just going to be me, and then I have 2 fantastic special guests: Mark Copley, who's an extraordinary guitar player, and Rocco DeLuca, who's going to be playing pedal steel and lap steel.
Ooh, it's a cool sound.
So I beg your pardon?
That's a cool sound. The pedal steel.
Yeah, it is, and he's a phenomenal player as well, and but what I really enjoy about the show is it's so intimate, and we get to kind of tell some stories about why I think these songs are worth you listening to in the first place, and have a drink and play some songs, and it's just a really nice night to kind of come together, especially after the last 2 years. Yeah. So really, really looking forward to it.
As a performer, as a guy who I'm sure, since you're musically inclined, has probably played with bands and so on, you and a guitar, that's pretty naked up on stage. Did it take a little while to get to that point and feel comfortable doing shows like that?
I'm still not comfortable. I mean, I think one of the funny things, as an actor, if you get a little nervous, and I do, I use that nervous energy. You put your hands in your pocket if they start to shake a little. Doesn't work as well for a guitar player.
Yeah.
And look, if it does, I've always believed very strongly, if it doesn't make you a little nervous, you should probably doing something else.
Okay.
And so. Yeah, for me now, it just kind of goes away after the first or second chord. But certainly waiting in the wings to go on stage, either as an actor or as a player. It gets my adrenaline going. And,
cool.
And I hope it will feel like that till the day I die.
Well, the album is called Bloor Street, and it's your third. And and it's funny. I know that when you have somebody who's known for what you're known for, and you take the foray into music, of course you're obviously going to be met with the initial, okay, what's this guy doing? And the truth of the matter is, as I was listening to a lot of the music, it's very good, and it's and also reading about your approach to it and your love of it and how visceral it is to you. You love your acting world as well, and in fact, during the lockdown and pandemic, most of the hardcore stuff, you were still busy. I think you did 2 movies and a limited series. And the question I have for you is, prior to that all happening, you wrote a couple of songs, and then you wrote the bulk of it during the pandemic. Would we be able to discern the songs that were written prior? Do you think Yeah.
That's a great question. I think you would. You know, I had such a profound kind of reaction to the lockdown. I've been moving at a mile a minute for the last 20 years. I don't think I've been home for more than 3 weeks for the last 10 years. And so all of a sudden, I'm actually sitting in my house and it's like, oh, wow, I actually like my house. And, oh, cool, I actually like my dog. And I like my girlfriend. And, wow, this is pretty cool. And so I became profoundly grateful. You know, I've been fortunate enough to have a career that people can only really dream of. I've been allowed to do things that I'm interested in, and I know that's not what everybody gets. So a lot of the songs, whether it was songs like "So Full of Love," you know, if you had told me 4 years ago that I was going to write that song and write a song that was so positive, I'd have stabbed you in the heart with a pencil. I just wouldn't have believed you.
It would be hard. It's hard to wrap your mind around it. Yeah.
And there I am sitting in the shower going, so full of love, I can't hold it together. I'm like, who the is this guy? So that was kind of my reaction to the pandemic. And I don't want to minimize how difficult a time this has been for so many people. But I couldn't help but be really grateful for my family and my friends who I wasn't allowed to see like everybody else. And it afforded me time to take stock in my own life and how lucky I have been.
Well, I wanted to ask about the title track, Bloor Street, because I don't know at what point that song was written, but, you know, it seems to be a nostalgic look back at a hometown. I get this kind of, Bruce Springsteen, My Hometown, lyrically, Main Street from Bob Seger, something.
Bob Seger, one of my favorite songs. Yeah.
And I've always loved that type of song. It could be talking about an existence, a place that I have no connection with growing up, but I still get an emotional connection to it. Is this indeed about Toronto, your hometown? Or?
It is. Bloor Street is the main thoroughfare through Toronto, going east and west. And we were shooting a television show there called Designated Survivor, and I hadn't been home. We were there for 3 years, and I hadn't been home for that long a period of time since I was maybe 16 years old. And I came upon this kind of main intersection in Toronto, Bloor Street and Yonge Street, and I realized all of my firsts had happened there. My first job at the food court in the Hudson Bay Center, my first meaningful kiss with a girl in front of the Bloor Street subway.
Wow.
I think the first fight I ever got in and lost was on that corner. So I just got very nostalgic and just started writing really about how grateful I was that I could grow up in that town, which afforded us a kind of freedom that I certainly know that my kids and my grandkids did not experience. We were on the subway at 11 years old. I mean, who would do that now?
Right, right. You're saying so much that's true, because that is, I actually am, it's been a while since I've been back to the town I was raised in. It's been 20 plus years. And I think I'm at that point where I want to go back, because it does mean something. Those you pick those hallmark, benchmark moments in your life, and that does mean something. And you need to reconnect. I agree with what Preston was saying about songs that do that. So much of what you write about with this album has a resonance to your experience. Two Stepping in Time is kind of just a real love song, and I assume it's written for your girlfriend, correct?
It is. Yeah. It is. And a friend of mine who I was recording with and I was writing a lot of
traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Thank you, Kathy. Before we dive into what we're going to talk about here, I'd just like to acknowledge something. Today is going to be Bill Weston's final MMR staff meeting.
Yep.
And then he is he's done at the end of the month. He moves on, and he'll.
Santa's got to go.
Yeah, he's got to go.
He really has to go.
And so that's kind of sad, isn't it?
It is, because the truth of the matter is, I had the chance to be interviewed by this gentleman, Ryan Hopp. He has a podcast down in Florida. He's going to ask you to do likewise, Preston. And I said, the whole fake dynamic of like hating your boss or that whole thing. I said the truth is, Bill's great, and for all the idiosyncrasies that he freely lets us, use to our comedic advantage. It's been a great run, and it is sad for these little. You observed it yesterday, and it's like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I wonder who's going to get the last awkward comment of the meeting.
Oh, you are.
Oh, you think it's going to be me?
Oh, yeah.
I hope so. I would really like to go out with the last
I
awkward.
think you should. I think you did definitely.
I deserve it, right?
Yeah.
Are you having your period?
It's funny that you said idiosyncrasies because I use that exact word.
Yeah.
I was talking to my friend Brian last night. I was talking about Bill leaving, and I was like, I go, with Bill, all of Bill's idiosyncrasies, he's a great boss.
Oh, absolutely.
I said he's got his little things.
We all do.
And we all do, of course. Bill's are more fun to make fun of than anybody else's, but yeah.
I mean, it's like it's been so long, that we've worked with him. And so it's just, even though we have somebody great coming in, it's still going to be weird without him.
Yeah, it's been 18 years.
Listen, we're going to be in good hands because, and of course, Chuck would be the first to say that, working with Bill and having that transition take place where Bill is sort of able to oversee and help. Bill is very complimentary of Chuck's, but I mean, it's been a great time. And so we will savor. Contrary to our usual Wednesday meetings, we will savor this one.
Yes, we will. So what I wanted to bring up, Steve brought up this interesting little scenario that I'm sure that has happened to some people listening, and that is at this time of year, if you're purchasing gifts, whether it be for, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating, have you opened a gift that was intended for you? Have you opened an Amazon or delivery box of a gift that was sent to the house, and you opened it and found out that it was actually a gift for you? And I'm wondering if anybody listening has accidentally opened their big gift.
Yeah, like the big one.
And then had to, or at least attempted to surgically reclose it. Yeah.
Or you just fess up and go.
The cat got into it.
Yeah, guess I'm getting. I'm getting a diamond bracelet or whatever it is.
I think I would be disappointed if I found out the big one. You know what I mean? Like to me, I like the surprise of it.
It happened to me when I was a kid. I opened up this beautiful gold bracelet. It had hearts, and it was not like a charm bracelet, but a loose bracelet. And I was opening gifts on Christmas morning, and I was like, "Wait, is there another one? Is there another one?" It was my mom's gift
from your dad,
from my dad. And my mom is so kind, though. She's like, "Oh, you can have it." She tried to give it to me. I was like,
"Little
no,
bitch."
But I did. I was like looking around the tree. I was like, "Oh, is it hidden?"
You can have it, sweetheart. I'm gonna kill that bitch.
Oh, that's funny.
But in my house, so packages that Rochelle has ordered will have my name on it sometimes, and vice versa. We share the same Amazon account.
Or
I don't look at the what's been purchased. That's an easy way to go if you want to find out what somebody's getting for you, but that's cheating. And so I never know if this package was a gift for me, and I'll open it, and she's like, "You're not supposed to do that."
So you get a cluster of 4. It almost happened to me yesterday. You get a cluster of 3 or 4 packages because you're ordering things.
And you just filter through
and be careful.
Yeah, 215-263-WMMR if that has happened to you, and what do you do in that situation? Or it's happened to where you ordered the gift and they opened it, and you're like, "Oh, great. Now I got to go get something else."
Did you see the footage of the I think it was the UPS delivery guy who sort of assumed this was a big present shipped to a house, and it was in the box was the depiction of what I think it was one of those electric cars for kids, like a Jeep, that you can put the batteries in and the kid can actually drive it.
Oh, okay.
So it gets delivered. He actually goes the extra mile and sort of hides it behind some garbage cans, and then I guess they have a contacting and texted.
Okay.
Just in case.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that is
because
cool.
if the kid's coming home from school,
he sees it.
Yeah,
that's it.
But Amazon will alert you if it's coming in the original box with a picture on it.
Oh, they will?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kathy, did you have a Christmas present delivered here that showed up yesterday? There was a giant package sitting on your chair.
that was a gift from our friends at Love Bug.
Okay.
You guys all got for Christmas.
The dildos are mine, Nick.
No, a camping blanket.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, that's nice. I thought maybe you had something sent here that was for Jace that you were hiding from him.
You know what? I don't.
Santa brings that.
I don't. I don't get that kid gifts. I don't trust shipping stuff here. I'd rather go to my house. Yeah, because we don't have like a mail room anymore. Like I know it goes to someone, but like
no one knows.
And
who actually gets the mail here?
Tony, I think.
Tony does most of it.
Yeah, Tony.
And sometimes whoever's delivering it puts it in the right spot. Sometimes they don't. So I don't trust shipping it here.
Speaking of something you said just a moment ago, see if I'll let Kathy share. Though you gave Jace a catalog to go through and find some items and you know, maybe circle some things that Santa might want to bring.
Yeah, I'm having a tough time, and so is he on you know what he wants as they get older. He's 12. It's tough. Like, what do you want for Christmas? So I did the old, I got a couple of catalogs, and I was like, look, here, go through here, see if there's anything in here that you might like. And it was cute. He actually found a really cute cat toy for the cat. So maybe Santa will bring that. But yeah, so he circled a couple of things, and I then he left them in my room, and so I was looking through the catalog to see what he had circled and to see if I could maybe find anything else. By the way, it was a Sharper Image catalog, so some cool stuff
I love
in
Sharper
there.
Image catalog, yeah.
Until I came past the page of vibrators, big and bold and pink and purple.
Wait a second. In the Sharper Image,
Sharper
Christmas
Image
catalog,
correct?
Which, by the way,
handed to my 12-year-old.
Has a ton of actual toys in it.
Correct.
It has an actual, because I know their RC selection, radio controlled stuff is pretty extensive. You're saying there's a full page of dildos?
There is a full page of vibrators.
They're called personal massagers.
Yes, they are called personal massagers.
Yes.
Because I saw that, I go, personal massagers, and I was like, oh no,
Dude,
oh no,
for massaging your vagina.
Steve, we're looking at them. They're phallic. They're totally phallic. I mean, they're not veiny and all that, but one of them has a head on it.
Wow.
A couple of them do.
And Steve, in the pictures of the toys, there's kids playing.
Yes,
so I saw the first couple pages and was like, yeah, look through this, see if you see anything.
I love the Sharper Image catalog. I didn't realize.
I just hope he didn't get all the way to the end of the
Sweetie,
catalog.
the toys are between the anal beads and the vibrators.
He didn't circle any of them, Kath?
No, it was towards the end. He didn't get all the way
This
to
is
it. But
funny.
Still, I was like, what the hell?
Mommy, it looks like a pee-pee.
Terrible.
That is the best. All right, 2 packages that you've accidentally opened. I'll go to Mike. Hi, Mike. You're on the air, buddy.
Good morning, Presbo.
Morning to see you, Mike. What's up?
So this actually happened to me yesterday. I got home from work, and there was a package out front, and it was addressed to me. And I was ordering like crazy lately, obviously, with the holidays coming up. I didn't think twice. I thought maybe it was just something extra that I completely forgot was coming. So I open it up, and it is a replica of Stormbreaker from Thor.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, when did I order this? I'm like, because my wife and I, we share the same Amazon account, and it's all under my name. And so I bust it open, and I'm like, what do I do with this now? I got to figure out how to close this back up.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Luckily, I had packaging tape, and I used to work for Amazon, so I know how to get that thing sealed perfectly. So I sealed it back up.
Wow.
She didn't think twice about it. So I'm in the clear. So now I got to act surprised when I open it up.
Oh, good for you,
Wow,
Mike.
man, good. Yes, because
Well
that's part of the
done.
joy. But yes, you open it up and there's a Thor replica. My wife's. They're separate accounts, separate
buddy.
shipping. So it comes in under her name. And my stuff comes in under my name. We'll get the notification, the joint notification that a package has arrived. So sometimes that'll throw you off. But otherwise, there is that delineation. But again, around this time, when 6 or 7 things are on the porch, and you go out to pick them up, and you start opening up things, you don't always look.
Yeah. I have Bill on the line. Hi, Bill. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to see you, Bill. What's up, bud?
Yeah, Alexis gives it away on us.
Alexa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It puts up the warning, the alert on there, and then you go, oh, what's the alert?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a package. It's such and such.
Now
tells you what it is.
Sometimes they will tell you. Sometimes Alexa will tell you what has arrived.
They do announce, though, at a certain point, and I don't know if this is something you have to enable, and if so, I've enabled it, because then it'll come up when you're on your alert. Because it is the holiday season, we will not announce the contents of packages. Yeah. So
thank you, by the way,
It'll
Bill.
just say a package has arrived. Instead of saying your master level dildo has arrived.
Right.
It won't. It just say a package has arrived.
So you have to set that up?
I guess so. I've had it. I've had it set up that way for so long that it just kicks in automatically around the holidays.
Something weird happened to me yesterday with Amazon. They came to my house, same guy, 3 different times. And finally, I realized what was going on. I was not home the first 2 times, but he needed a one-time code that I got in my email to deliver the package. That's never happened to me before.
Yeah. So, usually a lot of times that code is for...
like to log in. Yeah, I had
Right.
so I had to open the email. And fortunately, I didn't delete it. And I had to give him the code, and then he delivered the package. And the package was not, it wasn't something that was ridiculously expensive or anything like that. It was just a normal purchase.
Is it? So sometimes what happens is, people have things delivered to like those Amazon collection boxes outside of a 7-Eleven. And so there is a code
for that. No, this was to my house, and I felt bad because the guy came the first 2 times I wasn't home.
Hey, by the way, I got a text that I found kind of, I don't know what to do with it. It says, "Hi Preston, your in-store order number 51 is confirmed. Pickup is scheduled on Sunday, December 10th, 2023. Reply stop to opt out." Now, I've ordered things here and there, and I don't necessarily remember.
Is it?
I don't ever remember anything I was supposed to pick up.
Sometimes
I think it's a scam.
Yeah,
perhaps.
I've gotten the pickup. Mine was from.
This is a Jersey number.
Oh,
Jersey.
Mine said like UPS. It said UPS, but obviously it was not UPS. But the pickup thing, and I ignored it.
Yeah, Kathy, what you get is your order is here at the delivery station. We need your blah blah information to release it.
This is only asking me to reply stop to opt out. That's the response.
And they have to legally
just erase it.
I think I'm just going to delete it.
And if it is something important, they'll get back to you. If not, you'll reorder it again. And
send them your social security number and your maiden name.
That's what I need to do. God, thank you, Nick.
And your garage code number.
Thank you so much.
I found out how to turn off the Amazon delivery. You download the Alexa app and then go to settings and notification Amazon shopping, and then you can toggle off delivery updates.
Okay.
Well,
all right, that's good.
You may want the delivery updates without the specificity of what is in the delivery.
Yeah, it might be the only option.
Okay, so if you activate that, then it automatically kicks in, and at a certain point, it occurs at the end of or halfway through November that it won't tell you what you're getting.
I'm going to go to Toby. Hi, Toby. Good morning.
I'm your uncle.
Hi. Yes. What's up, Toby?
So I really hit it hard this last couple of months on. I've been wanting a motorcycle from my wife for about 10 years.
Okay.
And I was relentless with it. And she finally tried to surprise me with it. I got the insurance card in the mail with my name on it.
Oh.
And I open it and I go, "Why? Hey, we don't have a Yamaha." She looked at me and she goes, "Surprise!"
Oh man! No, but that is so sweet. That's so cool.
She had an elaborate scavenger hunt for me to find it, to come home and get it, and see it in our garage and everything. And then I ended up being home alone when it was actually delivered.
Oh really? Oh
She
no!
didn't surprise me at all.
Let me ask you: were you blown away by it?
Oh, I fucking cried.
Oh
yeah.
Drop the F-bomb.
We're on the radio, man.
All right. That's all right. Thanks, Toby. Appreciate it. He cried, is what he said. He effing cried.
With a mouth like that, I'm not so sure I want you on a motorcycle.
Let me see here. What is this about? I'm going to go to Kevin. Hi, Kev. Good morning, bud. Hi. What's up, man?
Yeah, so this year I ordered my wife's big present, which was a real nice electric fireplace, and it was getting delivered to the house, and my wife's at work, I'm at work. I text my daughter to say, "Hey, grab the package when it comes. I think it's going to show what it is." My daughter's on the lookout. She can't find it. A couple hours later, I get a picture from my wife of this box that's torn up, left on my front step, this giant box, and she tells me to go look at the camera at a specific time. So the delivery driver's trying to deliver it, and the box breaks open as he's dragging it on the ground, and the whole thing spills everywhere, all over the place. And she's going through, and she's trying to tell me the delivery is all messed up, and she shows me a picture of what it is. And my response was, "Merry Christmas."
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's nothing you can do.
Destroyed electric fireplace, man. So let me ask you. So as a post to the story, are they replacing it? I assume they would have to, right?
So I contacted them to replace it, and they said, how about you just keep it and we'll give you 25% off? I said, no, just send me a new one.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, we can't. We're out of stock. So we'll refund you.
Well,
And I still have this broken fireplace sitting in my house.
Yeah.
That sucks.
How about this? We'll sell you another one, but we'll take some money off.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Kevin. That sucks, man. Appreciate it. All right, one more quick call, and then we're going to have to take a break. I'm going to go to Austin. Austin, morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to see you, Austin. What's up?
So back in third grade, it was the year after I figured out Santa wasn't real.
Oh, Santa's real. Hang on, dude.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go there.
Yeah.
Regardless, I went to my parents' room on Christmas Eve for something to ask a question. I don't know. I forget.
Okay.
And I open up the door, and every single present is on the floor, unwrapped. Everything's fake.
Oh man!
And here I am being like, "Well, this is how it works." Okay.
And you saw
I'm like,
everything.
well,
You know
I'm
what?
getting this,
You know what that
this,
means?
brother's getting this.
That means your mom is sleeping with Santa Claus.
That's what was going on.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Thank you, Austin. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you have those moments occasionally. Sometimes, your parents will help Santa out.
Yeah.
And you discover things.
Yeah, he needs some help.
Absolutely.
I mean, the dude's got a whole damn world to cover.
It's a lot.
All right. Anyhow, as you receive that box, think about that. Think about these things before you open it, and maybe ask, is this okay to open?
Yes.
Before you do it, all right? We are going to take a break, but listen, speaking of gifts, we'd like to give some to you at the Christmas Miracle live broadcast with the Preston and Steve show. We would love to have you there. So let's take callers 15 and 16 at 215-263.
The Christmas numbers.
WMMR, and see if you can be a part of the audience and maybe a part of that group of people that jump up on stage for the Christmas Miracle. We're going to be drawing names for people to play games for some of our best prizes of the year. And we'd love to have you there. 215-263-WMMR. Keep in mind, we're in a new spot this year. We are going to Phoenixville at the Colonial Theater. We will have the Miller Lite Ugly Sweater Contest, so make sure that you dress appropriately. But join us for this. This is our year-end thank you to all those who listen to the Preston and Steve radio program. So we'll get you on board, and we will see you there. And we'll do more invites. You can go to WMMR.com for your chance to win, or you can go to Milk Boy today from 4 to 6 with Marissa. She's going to have 20 tickets to give away while there. And so stop by today, see her, and maybe you will win that way as well. 215-263-WMMR. Coming back with a B-File.
Being kind of prolific at this moment. And he said, you should really write a waltz. And I started on the guitar, literally sitting around the kitchen island. And I was going through a kind of thing as a writer where I wanted to write about what was in front of me. And I think the very first line of the song is cigarettes in the ashtrays, all in a line, empty glasses of whiskey show the passage of time. And those were the items that were, in fact, right in front of me. I have since quit smoking, the one thing that I can thank the pandemic for. But yeah, so it's, and then, so the guy was sitting to my right and my girlfriend was sitting a little farther down the kitchen island. I figured I should start writing towards her instead of him if I wanted to have a good evening.
Did you?
And,
did you
and
write I'm sorry. I just did you write that song quickly? I was reading.
Yes,
like 20 minutes, I think. Right.
Every once in a while, songs kind of write themselves, and this one was certainly that. It was finished because we were actually having a nice evening, and my friend had kind of put this task in front of me, and I wanted to go back to having our nice evening. So the song got written very quickly. But it's a love song. Again, not something that I spend a lot of time kind of doing. I don't write a lot of love songs. So when something like that happens, that's a great kind of song to put in your pocket and take with you.
It was interesting to read that you consider the touring, and you haven't had a chance to do a lot of touring over, obviously, the past couple of years. But I think you run contrary to a lot of people who create music and say that the process of touring is sort of a detriment to creating songs. And you, on the other hand, find it very helpful, and it informs your songwriting. Would that be correct to say that?
Oh my gosh, yeah. In the 3 years that we were doing Designated Survivor, we played over 500 shows.
Wow.
You know, I remember on the second record writing songs that were specifically designed to enhance our set list. The live thing is something that I just caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as I have. And I think that there's an amazing moment, or possibility at least, when you explain why you wrote a song. And I wrote a song called Saskatchewan about the passing of my mother. And there were times when I would play that song and I could see someone put their arm around a friend in the audience. And I could realize at that moment that that person's going through something similar.
Wow.
When we can come together and realize that we've got these things in common and that we're going through this thing together, that's a great night. I mean, that's a good evening. And so it's something that's made a deep impression on me, and hopefully for the people that we get to play for.
Kiefer, I want to ask you about your voice work over the years, because you've done some narration, you've done animated movies. I love you in Monsters vs. Aliens. The warmonger character was terrific. You've done, The Simpsons and narrated a few other things over the years. Does that lend itself to your ability to sing, perform on stage? Do you get training from doing narration or voice work that you can then bring to your music career, or are they entirely separate?
They are pretty separate. The voiceover work started actually for me in a very funny way. My dad was doing commercials back in the early 90s for Volvo. And I think one evening he whispered in my ear what they were paying him. I think the next day I called up Volvo and told them I did a really good Donald Sutherland. I'd do it for half the money.
Undercutting your dad.
Which I don't think he really appreciated. I thought it was a lot funnier than he did. But it's its own thing. I mean, when I think of someone like Mel Blanc, who did all of those cartoon voices, and which, Monsters versus Aliens, I hope I don't get sued for this, but I completely ripped off Yosemite Sam. Bring on the fearless freak. I hate rabbits. But it's an awful lot of fun, and it takes you back to being a kid and just loving cartoons and listening to cartoons, and so it is a lot of fun to do. But they're very, very separate kind of entities.
You have lived a very, very interesting and full life, and obviously voiceover actor, musician, but you're kind of a cowboy too. You've competed in rodeos and have won roping championships. What's that? And do you still do that?
I do not. I think 24 kind of put an end to that. I'd been doing it for a decade, and I had two partners that I would rodeo with. One guy named John English, just an amazing all-round cowboy, and a guy named Mike Wolf, who has since passed. Really loved it. I mean, it was kind of like being in a band. You and about three other cowboys kind of load your horses up onto a trailer and go from town to town, doing rodeo after rodeo. We had more fun than we probably should have. And it was a great experience. And it was so nice to do something kind of different. I did that for about a decade, and I did films at that time. But it was a great kind of refresher, because when I went and started 24, that was going to be a whole very intense decade of just doing that show. So the rodeo actually kind of helped cleanse my palate, if you will, for a lot of work. And I enjoyed it immensely. And I got to see parts of America that I don't think I would normally have seen.
Right. I wanted to go back to the songwriting and having songs kind of just present themselves to you. And, with two-stepping in time and having it be so quick and present itself and you write it. Did you get a chance to see the Peter Jackson Beatles documentary?
I sure did.
I mean, for you, that had to be, as it was for us, to see the creation of songs that have become so iconic. What a mind blower.
Yeah, to have Ringo Starr kind of doing an interview saying, I could just listen to Paul play piano for an hour. and in the background, Paul's working out the opening chords for Let It Be. I mean, are you kidding me?
One of the greatest songs ever written coming to life right there. It's insane.
But what's really, really funny is kind of, as iconic as they are, there's always going to be something really personal that you watch in a movie like that, and especially one that's documented 6 hours. My phone rang off the hook somewhere in the 3rd episode when they all started drinking J&B Scotch. Now, J&B Scotch is certainly now not considered to be very highbrow on any level, and you'd have to find a pretty dirty bar to find a bottle of it anyway.
Yeah.
That was always kind of my drink of choice for a number of years. And literally the fact that they had all drank it together, kind of sitting on the floor working out, the long and winding road, somehow gave the beverage validity. My friends finally, after 20 years of drinking this swill, have forgiven me.
It's good enough for the Beatles.
Drank it. I love it. Yeah, I thought, if John Lennon could drink it, and apparently I make the same kind of disgusted face that John Lennon makes when he takes that first pull.
That's great.
We laughed about that.
If you're just tuning in, it's Kiefer Sutherland that we're speaking to. His album is called Bloor Street, and he's going to be performing at Ardmore Music Hall coming up on March 12th. Tickets go on sale, I believe, tomorrow, by the way. And I didn't even realize this is a bizarre coincidence, Kiefer. I right before you came on, I go to Casey. I go, oh, my God. I'm wearing my Castle Rock, Maine shirt.
Yeah.
And you were Ace Merrill in Stand By Me, who lived in Castle Rock.
It's my favorite movie of
It's
all
Casey's
time.
favorite movie of all time. And I wanted to ask you about that character and other characters in your acting career, because that one was earlier on in your career, and he was so nasty and so mean. That as you've gone through and formed other characters, if you've ever gone, I think I'll throw a little Ace in there, or do you do that? Do you mix and match and borrow pieces from characters and maybe put them to construct others together?
No, they kind of, each character is inspired and informed by the script that you have in front of you and the experiences that you've had as a human being up until that point. The thing that I've always been amazed about with films like Stand By Me, that I've been so lucky to be a part of, was the seemingly unaware I was that it was great. When I look back, I think, man, you have been lucky, because, when I first read that script, it was just a job. I didn't think it was going to turn into this amazing thing that Rob Reiner and the other kids turned it into. So I've been very fortunate to be along for the ride on some of these things. And I also remember it's the first and only time that I went on an audition where I was hired in the room. And that was Rob Reiner. And that was like the most incredible feeling, to go in for a meeting. And then by the time you're going back to your car in the parking lot, you've actually got the job.
Yeah. No callbacks, no we'll get in touch, none of that.
It was, I think it almost made me cry when I was a kid. I mean, it was just because it was such an important thing to get the first couple jobs down here in the States. And I'll always be grateful for Rob for doing that.
And that movie has hit me in different ways over the years, because I first watched it as a child, and there were things about the movie that I didn't get or understand because I was a kid at the time. And you seeing these 4 kids going on this amazing journey, and then all of a sudden at the end, like, they're not friends anymore. Like they went to middle school, and then as an adult.
Yeah.
And I actually have a friend of mine. I was just talking to him about it on Sunday. I went to kindergarten with this guy, and we're still friends to this day, but we were lamenting over the fact that, like, there were people on our...
Metro traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Let us do the Bizarre File.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right. Brought to you this morning by Sayin Western Apparel and Work Gear in Piles Grove, New Jersey. Shop there this holiday season. Sayin's has work gear and boots from the brands you love. Online at zaneswestern.com. Actually, it's zanewestern.com. Okay, so I've been keeping one eye on the local news, but maybe I haven't been watching closely enough, because I don't remember seeing this story, and you guys tell me if you have. This is out of Ocean City, New Jersey.
All right.
When police arrived to an apartment after receiving a call from a man claiming he had just killed his mom, they found Jeffrey Sargent naked and covered in blood on top of the headless body of his mother.
They were just doing a follow-up on this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not see. Kathy, did you see this story?
No,
And you're an Ocean City gal, right?
I have a friend that lives in Ocean City, but...
Does this friend like to cut people's heads off?
Yeah. A sergeant who is 46 years old is charged with murder in connection with the death of his 74-year-old mother. He called police on December 8th to tell them that he was bipolar and that he had killed his mother.
Oh, boy.
The line remained open, and Sergeant said nothing further. Housing authority surveillance footage, listen to this, shows a head roll out of the apartment at a high rate of speed. The head hit a wall and rolled to where it was later found by police.
Oh, my God.
Shortly after, a sergeant could be seen peeking out of the apartment, then pulling his mother's body into the hallway. He was naked and laid on top of the body, which is how police discovered him.
Dear God.
Right? This is as gruesome as you can
Yeah,
get.
not your typical day at the job.
As police handcuffed Sergeant and took him out of the building, he screamed over and over that he had killed his mother and that he was sorry. And then he began to sing, "Jesus Loves Me." Sergeant was taken to a medical facility.
Maybe not.
Under police watch. And jail records showed that he was taken to the Cape May County Correctional Facility the next day. This is
brutal,
horrifying. I just was blown away when I saw that this morning. All right, with that, we need something a little bit lighter
Yes,
to go
a head
to.
reattachment.
I don't have one of those, but I do have one about a passenger who flew from Denmark to Los Angeles, had no passport, and had no recollection of his journey there.
What?
Sergei Ochigava flew to LAX on November 4th, but he did not have a passport. After a search, no passport was found, and he was not a passenger on the manifest. He had no ticket. He had no passport.
Don't they usually check for those things?
And he has no memory of how he boarded the plane. Ochigava claimed that he had not been sleeping for 3 days and did not understand what was going on. He has pleaded not guilty to charges of illegally boarding an aircraft. His hearing will take place on December 26th.
Where did he fly out of again?
Denmark. Yeah, isn't that weird?
You think they'd be, can't figure that one out.
Somehow or another, he made it happen. All right, a former hotel in Nova Scotia was moved by a construction firm with the help of 700 bars of soap. Halifax's Elmwood building, a hotel, was slated for demolition in 2018, but was saved by a sale to Galaxy Properties, which announced plans to actually move the structure closer to the street and put it on new foundation so that it could connect to a planned apartment building. The 220-ton building was successfully moved by a crew from S. Rushton Construction, and they shared time-lapse video of the move on Facebook. Elmwood
was soap.
It was pulled 30 feet across a steel frame by 2 excavators and a tow truck, and instead of using rollers, the team decided to use 700 bars of ivory soap to make the building glide across the frame.
That still seems...
It seems like it would just crush the soap.
Yeah,
Like it wouldn't even work at all.
It still seems impractical.
So ivory soap is particularly soft, making for a smooth move.
How come they don't advertise that in the commercials? Great for moving buildings.
They said that the Elmwood would be moved again in the near future once its new foundation is completed, but I'd never heard of using soap.
It just seems inadequate, but they did it.
Oh, man, I don't have this story. I had it somewhere in the bizarre file from last week, and of course it happened in Missouri. There was a high-speed chase involving someone that was towing a house.
A high-speed chase?
Well, it was as high speed as
5 miles an hour?
As it could go, but they were towing a mobile home.
Wow.
And it was a police chase. It was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Like, they were trying to get away.
Was it more like a foot pursuit?
No, but it was weird. Anyway.
Yeah.
Slow down! I thought that tied in with the moving of the house. All right.
Can you stop doing that?
Yeah. A man is accused, this took place in Missouri as well. A man is accused of stabbing a Panda Express employee and punching another worker over the quality of his food.
Stabbing and punching over the quality of the Panda Express food.
Yeah, officers, I mean, you knew you were going to a Panda Express, right?
Yeah.
All right, so the officer charged...
What's with all this Asian food?
Philip Person with felony assault. Police responded to a Panda Express. Officers said they found a man who works at the restaurant stabbed in the back. Witnesses told police that Person got into an argument with employees over his food and then punched a female employee in the head.
No.
The restaurant's manager and a male employee were able to get Person outside, where he's accused of stabbing the male employee. That employee was taken to the hospital for treatment and later released. Officers stopped and arrested Person after he drove off in a work truck. And investigators said that they also took a knife into evidence. All right, and we'll do one more story.
All right.
I thought this was really interesting. An $800,000 ring lost in a hotel was found, and it was in a vacuum cleaner bag.
In a vacuum cleaner bag.
Yeah.
Did they go through the bag?
They did. A Malaysian businesswoman staying at the Ritz in Paris accused a hotel cleaner of stealing the ring and filed a police report on Friday. Fortunately for the cleaning staff, the ring was found on Sunday collecting dust. So they, obviously this person denied doing it.
Unless they vacuumed it with the intent of getting it out of the hotel.
Right. Yeah. But they went, I guess the vacuum must have been set aside or put away. And so
That's where we keep the $800,000 vacuum.
And they searched all the vacuum cleaners. So the Ritz had said, we would like to thank the staff at the Ritz Paris who mobilized for this search.
It's crazy.
Who work each day with integrity and professionalism. The Ritz offered the businesswoman free nights for the inconvenience, but she declined. So
yes,
I guess she's happy.
You'd be freaking the hell out.
Yep, $800,000 ring.
God, come on.
And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, let's do this. I would like to give away. Thank you to Dave McGrogan, who gave us our little Christmas gift early from his other property, Harvest Seasonal Grill and Wine Bar. But he is here to promote Monterey Grill.
Yay!
Yes. Which is located in New Jersey, and you will find it at 558 Fellowship Road, Mount Laurel, New Jersey. It's next to the Aloft Hotel. And I would like to give away a $50 gift card to caller number 17 at 215-263-WMMR. It's the newest destination for premium, thick-cut steaks, fresh seafood, raw bar, decadent sides, and artisanal cocktails.
Did you try some of the steak? I know you like a good steak.
I didn't. I'm in fish mode, so I had the salmon this morning.
Yeah, no,
and
it was take that out for a spin.
Fantastic.
I had the steak with the mac and cheese and the grilled onions.
That's
Holy
lobster
crap.
mac and cheese,
by
the way.
So I did surf and turf.
Nice.
With the mac and cheese, yeah.
Fantastic food. So Monterey Prime American Grill, amazing food. And we'll take caller number 17. We'll give you that $50 gift card, 215-263-WMMR. We're going to take a break. Don't forget, we still have the secret text word. So tickets to see the Fab Five. And that will be at the Wind Creek Event Center in Bethlehem. Text word secret to 39333. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us.
Great. That was the last time I ever saw them. And, these are aspects of these child's lives that Stephen King was well aware of as an adult. And so it's my favorite movie and has always been, will always be my favorite movie of all time.
Well, it's certainly one of my favorite to have made because I was so young again. But all of a sudden, I'm in Eugene, Oregon. I've got my own hotel room. I'm being paid. I'm 17 years old. This has nothing to do with my parents. For all of those reasons, again, talking about the firsts that you do in your life. It was an incredibly, incredibly exciting time.
As you moved through your career, and I mean, it's an amazing career, on the screen because you've played William Burroughs and Jack Bauer. Which are, as author of The Naked Lunch and one of the great action guys of all time. And I know you have a very good work ethic, and the mindset early on was to just get the role. But as you were able to have some impact and weight and make the selections, what informed what you chose throughout your career?
Just whatever moves you. It's not more complicated than someone picking up a book and for whatever reason this book moves them and makes them inspires them more than the other book. So generally, if I'm reading a script and I can't put it down, it's going to be something I'm interested in doing. And having said that, I've made close to 100 films, so I've made mistakes. There are a couple films I'm sure that I read that I didn't understand. And when I see the movie, I'm like, how did you not get that?
Is that a liability? And you mentioned, you didn't realize what you had with Stand By Me. I would think it'd be hard for an actor who's doing the job to be in it, surrounded by all of this stuff that's going on, and to be very aware, completely aware of how something is turning out. Is that?
Yes, I mean, that's a very fair statement. I mean, and there's some people that are clearly must be better at it. Like, I think Tom Hanks must have some inner gene that's like, this is going to be a huge hit because he keeps making them. I wasn't given that gene, and having said that, so many things need to go right for a film or a play to work, or for a song or an album to work. And for instance, 24 was a perfect example. It was my first foray into television. And for those out there that don't know, you make a pilot, you make the first episode, and then if it gets picked up, you then go make the first season. But if it doesn't, you still get paid.
Right.
And when, I thought the likelihood of 24 getting picked up was pretty minimal. So I thought, I'll go do the pilot. It won't get picked up. I'll still get paid. No one will know. And, it was the luckiest gift I've ever had as an actor, and did it for a decade. So, wow. So I don't know if any of your kids want to get into film, probably the best bet is to not send me the script and ask me what I think.
Two real quick things, Kiefer. My mom drinks J&B, so you're not alone. You, my mom, and the Beatles. And you do play a great dick, because in A Few Good Men, you were really not likable at all. And you pulled it off successfully. I think you're a really likable person. I'm loving this conversation with you. But that movie, was it fun to be kind of a villain in that movie?
Well, it's those characters, and especially by design, like Ace Merrill and Lieutenant Kendrick in A Few Good Men, they're just designed to be that. There's no real depth to them. There's kind of a black and white character that this is who you're against.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they are so pointed as characters makes them very fun, because all your energy goes into that. There's no complex layering. He's just, as you said on your radio station, he's a dick. So lean into it.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
So that's fun.
Yeah. It's got to be. All right, well, listen, Kiefer, we know you got to run. This has been so much fun to talk to you. We really appreciate it, and excited about the fact that you're coming into Philadelphia. Kiefer's show is going to be at the Ardmore Music Hall. It's on March 12th. Tickets go on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. at ardmoremusic.com. The album is called Bloor Street. Some great music. It's got a country vibe to it. If that's your thing, then you're definitely on board.
Yeah, it's very, very solid.
Yeah, so thanks so much, man.
Man, thank you guys so much. And Steve, I believe it's your happy birthday. So
it's Preston. It's Preston, but thank you.
Oh, is it Preston's birthday today?
Yeah. But I get one.
Man, I'm so sorry, but happy birthday.
Dude, come on. Thank you. I appreciate it, Kiefer. Good luck with everything.
Cheers.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah. Wow. And there's so much more that we could have covered. Even we could have gone another hour.
Yeah,
just talking to him about all his movies, TV shows.
It's still an interesting thing though, because you have a guy who's of the vast movie career, but he is passionate about the music, and he really is sinking a lot into it. And if you do give it a listen, I mean, you did mention a little bit of Springsteen-esque. There's even a bit, I think, of Warren Zevon, and there's and it's personal, and he does a good job relaying that through the music.
I meant to and wanted to ask him about. He performed at the company's Christmas party. We weren't at that, but it was for national sales and.
No, you didn't want to bring.
Yeah, were you in here when we were talking?
Well, no. So I wanted to ask about Matt. So Matt Capper was the
organizer.
He was the master of ceremonies, and he wore a bright red.
I saw you in Stand By Me. That was sick. Was that dead body real?
Played eighth.
You played eighth. That was sick.
Oh my God!
Are there really a few good men, or is there just one good man? Sick. Were the boys really lost?
Wait, he was wearing a red outfit,
a red suit? Blazer, almost blazer. Like a Santa Claus, but it's fitted perfectly to. Or imperfectly to his body.
I had it tailor-made. So can show my V. Sick.
You're being...
Casey, I was glad you got to bring up Stand By Me, because I think now you've been able to ask Rob Reiner, Will Wheaton, Jerry O'Connell.
Yep.
Now Kiefer,
probably Corey Feldman at some point, because we've had him on. We had him in studio back in.
I bet you could have asked River Phoenix if he was still alive.
By the way,
covered everybody
on. I think it's Hulu. Hulu has a series. It's a Vice series, and they touch on there's a whole episode on River Phoenix, the Viper Room.
Heard about, I heard it's really good.
It's really, really good.
I'll tell you the thing about Stand By Me, and there are other movies like that you watch it and you dread almost the end of Stand By Me, because, and it's a wonderful thing, and it's the way life works, but the sadness of what of what you had and
The
what
Sandlot, things
but
like that.
It's the way things are.
Yeah,
And
yeah. It's
that's
what's important to you as a kid at that
Right.
time. I mean,
and it means everything.
They're sitting around the fire, and he goes, "We talked about things that are important to kids at that time.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
what's your favorite flavor Pez? You know,
Yeah.
or
Pez,
candy
Flavor Pez.
and stuff like that. And it's just a simpler time that's great to reminisce about, and that's done so lovingly well. In that movie. So it's cool. I'm glad he had noticed. I said, "Yeah, I'm wearing my Castle Rock shirt." He's like, "Yeah, I noticed." Very cool, man.
Yeah,
He was
awesome. Great guy, great guest. I'd love to get him on again.
Our next guests are here to promote a movie of which the trailer is one that has made me laugh out loud. This morning, I kept watching this part over and over, absolutely cracking up. And we're going to ask these guys about it because I was just dying. And we welcome back a Philly boy to our studios. He's been here before. We love him. He's so great to this city. Kevin Hart is here, and Ice Cube is here. As well. Hey, guys.
What's your man?
How you feeling? Doing great, man. Thank you guys for coming in.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Kevin,
Hey, that's my line, homie.
You didn't work this out ahead of time?
No, man. See the problem I had to deal with?
There you go. Something tells me this was a lot of fun to work on the movie Right Along.
Yo, it was a lot of fun to work with. You know, as soon as we can get Kevin, you know, into the set, you know what I'm saying, to work, you know, he did a pretty good job, you know what I mean?
You have no problems.
Getting him out them strip clubs is murder, you know what I'm saying? Picking glitter out his face, and, you know, it's just not cool.
Not a regular at the Purple Orchid, are you, man?
Yeah, Purple Orchid.
Don't listen to this nonsense Cube is talking about. Dude, let me tell you something. Right now, we couldn't be more excited about a movie in our life, man. You know, me and Cube got the opportunity right now to have a film jump in the same conversations as these other buddy cop movies that have done so much. You know, when you think buddy cop movies, you think
48
Bad
Hours.
Boys, Rush Hours, 48 Hours.
I
Lethal
love them.
Weapons.
There's a great dynamic, but
Great.
the key with any movie like this to work is the chemistry, and it seems like you guys hit the ground running with it.
Instant chemistry, you know, and that's kind of weird because, you know, with the other comedians that I've worked with over the years, you know, we've had to build to a cool place, but it was instant with Kevin.
You in the plot conceit here is that you're an actual detective.
Yeah.
Kevin, you're a
pain in the ass.
school cop. Which you're going to marry your sister,
Yes.
who's your life. You're one connection through to the real world.
Yes, you know, I've my character has taken care of my sister. You know, our parents are out the picture, and you know, so you know, she's almost like a daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you're very protective,
overprotective, and I'm on a big case. You know, I'm trying to track down the biggest drug dealer in Atlanta. So the last thing I need is this fly in my ear by the name of Ben bugging me trying to marry my sister. You know, and he's just not what I think he should be.
So you decided to take him on a ride along, which might kind of scare him out of this whole thing.
That's the plan, man. Just scare the hell out of him.
You're Denzel to his Ethan Hawke.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Training day upside down.
Yeah, upside down on his ear.
You know what's funny though? There's an aspect to it. I'm a gamer, so you know, and you, Kevin, your character believes sort of in a way that because you're accomplished at video gaming, that would translate into the real world.
Yes, I solely believe that this is a real thing.
And I guarantee you, there are a lot of dudes, because you'll hear it when you're playing.
I can promise you there are.
There are a lot of dudes that think they could be dropped down in Fallujah and have no problem.
I can assure you that I've met these guys. We were doing a press junket, and one of the guys, this guy, the blacknerds.com
Oh,
guy,
yeah.
He has a website called blacknerds.com.
Right.
And he was serious. He was like, yeah, you know, I'm basically here for all black nerds. Give us a place to come, and we basically reside here, and we talk about things, you know. But as a gamer, he was talking about himself as a gamer. As a gamer, I'm a different type of person. This world that I'm in, you know, Kevin, I respect you for going there because it's me. You know, I'm above a platinum level. I'm actually on the game that I play. There's a diamond level, and there's only and we didn't know what the hell he was talking about. We're like, what are you? Hey man, ask me about the movie, man. I don't know what you talking about, man.
The scene I was referring to when I introduced you guys is you're both interrogating this guy, and Cube, you're saying, you know, you better tell me what I need to know. And Kevin's character decides to act like he's the crazy cop and just starts wigging out on the guy and accidentally shoots him. Your reaction, Kevin, your face. 93.3 WMMR. It is everything that rocks. About 11 minutes after 10 o'clock in the Preston and Steve Show. That band right there, Collective Soul. is going to be playing Mountain Fest this year at Montage Mountain, which coincides with our Cardboard Classic event. They are playing that day.
It's going to be so cool.
Of the show, that Friday, March 1st. So the stage is like right at the bottom of the hill where the sleds come down.
Do you know what? This is actually technically going to be Kathy's debut at Montage for the Cardboard Classic.
That's right.
You weren't there?
No.
Remember, Jace got sick.
He got his appendix out.
That's
Emergency
right.
appendectomy.
I forgot you weren't there.
Yeah.
You're going to freaking love it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Just being in that area, there's so much more to offer than where we used to do it.
There's a harvest right there.
There is. Yeah. There's all kinds of food and entertainment and it's better.
And
It's
shopping.
And shopping,
There's
all
a-
that stuff. And also they had like vendors set up at the event too, which was really cool. So Collective Soul is going to be performing that night. And AOR with the 502s on Saturday. So you got to get tickets to that, by the way, to the concerts. Okay. So tickets for Mountain Fest are on sale now. Any lift ticket for one of those days is valid for the entry as well for the concert. So you either get tickets or you get the lift ticket and go. Season pass holders get in free. VIP packages are available. The whole thing. You can go to WMMR.com/cardboard classic for some information about the event and the years past and all that stuff. So we are stoked about it this year. So it's Friday, March 1st. It's ways off. But make your plans now for the whole thing.
Yes.
Lesson question. Yeah, let's do that. We are going to give away, let me see. We have a 4-pack of tickets for Luminature at the Philadelphia Zoo. And the question that we will go with today is, man, there's several things we could go with. What bowling alley is now featured at the Just Sayin Institute? Or no, more specific. What's the bar and grill called at the Just Sayin Institute? How about that at the lanes? 215-263-WMMR. Let's see if you heard that earlier and happen to know the answer to it. 215-263-WMMR. The bar and grill is called what at the bowling alley at the Just Sayin Institute? Call now if you know the answer.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
This morning it is brought to you by Sports and Social. Experience the ultimate football party at Sports and Social in Live Casino and Hotel Philly. Cheer on the Birds. With ticket giveaways and signed merch, halftime contests, Bud Light Towers, free concession snacks, face painting, and more. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, Black China and Tyga have finally settled their years-long custody dispute over son King Cairo. As per the agreement, Tyga must continue to regularly miss child support while remaining an absentee father. He thinks he can pull that off. Mama June is taking over care of Anna, one of her late daughter Anna Caldwell's kids. Child Welfare describes the situation as Little Orphan Annie, but in reverse.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. And finally, Jewel and Kevin Costner, Kathy, we talked about this. They're continuing to be coy about a potential relationship between the two. However, Costner's urologist has come forward to reveal he recently treated the actor's penis for snaggletooth wounds.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
That's your Hollywood trash.
All right, thank you, Steve. We will see if you do indeed know the answer to this. What is the bar and grill that's featured at the bowling alley at the Just Sayin Institute? 215-263-WMMR. And Brad, our first caller in. We go to him. Hey, Brad. Morning, bud.
Good morning.
Good morning to see you, Brad. What is the answer?
Kathy's 7-10 split.
Yes, that is correct.
Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Are we
All
right
good.
into it?
No, it's normally, so Marissa's filling in for Casey. That's the only mistake we've had all morning. So I call that a win, but normally we have the winning music instead of the music news intro. But nonetheless, we are going to set him up with a 4-pack of tickets to Luminature at the Philadelphia Zoo. Luminature is back, another season of Sight, Sound, and Surprises. Philadelphia Zoo now through January 6th with more than 1 million twinkling lights. It is the biggest and brightest holiday light show yet. You can reserve your tickets now at philadelphiazoo.org. All right, music news brought to you. Brought to you by Embers Smokehouse and Tap and Chalfont, PA. They offer a unique twist on classic barbecue. Enjoy chef-inspired plates that are perfect for dinner, a game, or holiday parties. You can visit Embers Smokehouse and Tap.com for the menu. For the first time in 5 years, ZZ Top will tour Europe and the UK. The band has concerts and festival dates in 9 countries starting June 28th in Sweden. Other stops include Norway, Denmark, Germany, France, and Switzerland. Billy Gibbons commented saying, it's been a while since we've been able to check in with our European fans, so it goes without saying we're excited about coming back this summer. ZZ Top's latest album, Raw, was released in July of last year and pays homage to their roots and serves as a poignant tribute to the late Dusty Hill. A new book about the band Journey is out and being promoted as the definitive accounting of the band.
Can I guess the title?
Sure.
You Can Stop Believing Now.
No, that's not it. It was written by Nick DeRizzo, and it is titled Journey Worlds Apart.
Okay.
And it's based on dozens of interviews and conversations with co-founders Neil Sean, Greg Raleigh, and Prairie Prince, and several others. And the book covers the band's early days. Journey formed in San Francisco in 1973, but they didn't have their biggest commercial success until 1978 to 1987. They actually were kind of a progressive jazz rock band when they started off, but switched
When they
up.
broke, man, did they break big.
Yeah, once Steve Perry joined, that's the tipping point, and they took off. And then finally, multi-platinum artist the Marshall Tucker Band got awarded Pandora's Billionaires plaque. They were surprised when the widow and son of the late Charlie Daniels walked out and handed them the plaque on the stage of the
You don't deserve it.
of the Grand Ole Opry.
I love Marshall Tucker Band.
The band's lead singer and founder Doug Gray graciously accepted and was visibly moved. He said, receiving this great honor from Pandora was one of the proudest moments in our over 50 years of performing. Over 1 billion streams. We are floored and completely overwhelmed. Following the presentation, they ripped through their biggest hit song, Can't You See?
Love that song.
Earning a standing ovation from the crowd.
Are you a Marshall Tucker fan?
I am. I only know a handful of songs.
Yeah.
But I love those songs. Yeah. Can't You See is obviously a great one. And what's the other one I'm thinking of?
They have their version of it's not their version, their own song, Running Like the Wind. There's a whole album, and I forget the name of the album, but it is a terrific beginning to end.
Steve, they're at the Keswick Theater on January 28th. And
No kidding.
I didn't know until this year that there was nobody named Marshall Tucker in that band.
Yeah.
Heard It in a Love Song. That's what I was trying to think of.
in a love song. It
Great
almost
tune.
sounds like they're right here, right, Kathy?
Great tune. It's
Sounds
just
just like it.
being at the Opry, Steve. All right, and there you go. That's what I have in music news. All right, so we're going to get a secret text word, winner. And Kathy, what number caller should they be?
12.
All right, you heard her. 12th caller, 215-263-WMMR. You need to know the secret text word. We'll grab a random texter and award them as well. And we'll come back in a second to wrap the whole thing up. Letter of the day, word of the week prize, all that good stuff. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment. Switch, it went off. Oh my God, I just shot this guy. And then Cube, you pick it up. He just shot you. That's right, how serious we are. When you did that scene, were you the one who pulled the trigger on the gun, or did they surprise you with that bang? Or
No, well, on the day, actually, we were trying to figure it out because first of all, they don't like me with guns on the set. I'm the last person they want with a gun just because I just don't know how to handle them in real life. So Cube's like, Kev, hey, make sure somebody check Kev's gun, show me that it's blank. His thing is me shooting him by accident. So on the day, of course, it's empty, and we just sound affected.
Okay,
So it's just physical, and then after that, you sound affected at the end.
Damn, that was funny.
And the director is
Tim Story.
Tim Story, who did
Barbershop, Fantastic Four, Think Like a Man.
Great movie. Now, Barbershop, I assume there was an improvisational atmosphere. Did you get to do a lot of improving on a movie like this?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I think when you get it right, you start off with a funny script that you're laughing at out loud when you're reading it, and you make sure that script is tight, but you do leave room for the actors to play. And Tim says, get it off the script once, and then y'all can have fun with it. And then, this dude, he don't stop. You know what I mean? He don't stop.
I improv because I can't read. So I basically, I have problems with my T's, H's, and R's. So I'd rather just wing it sometimes.
You got the Danny Glover thing going on.
If I don't recognize the word, I just go off book. That's my motto.
Kevin, I have to indicate how proud Philadelphia is of your success.
Thank you, man.
I mean, because you've been here in our studio before, and I remember last time you were here was Awards back in 2009. You were playing the Tower Theater. That's a big room, and we were all impressed at how you were, continuing in your success on the way up. And then the next thing, you're selling out the Wells Fargo Center, man.
Dude,
It's
it's amazing.
It's unheard of, man. I try not to think about it because I don't want to go crazy.
Well, you know what? It's gonna. Me, you're doing it the right way because it seems like you keep you enjoy your work and you enjoy your personal life and you keep them both. Yeah. Because you don't, you're not. They don't get blurred. I think guys who let that get blurred end up.
I like Steve. I like Steve, man. Steve gets me. I like Steve, man. I don't know where Steve got his research from, but he ain't been wrong yet. Steve is all right, man.
Y'all should do the sequel together.
Man, Steve chemistry is great, man.
While you guys are riding along and ride along too, maybe you're listening to the radio while driving through Philly.
I think so.
I'll take that. Or Steve is the gamer. I don't know, something, man. We go to Steve's house. He's got all types of weird gaming artifacts.
You and I are drinking milk together.
Something. I like it.
I did want to say, though, on behalf of the city and everything, your generosity has been fantastic.
Thank you, man.
A whole bunch of computers. And there was that little incident where some of them were clipped.
Yeah, they stole them.
Stole computers. You're trying to do something good for the city.
Oh, son of a...
Steve, I mean, Kevin, you didn't donate the computers and then steal them back.
No, listen.
That ain't cool.
I didn't steal
Kevin,
them back.
that ain't cool.
Here's the thing. Let me tell you something about old Kevin Hart. See, here's the thing. You can't keep old Kevin Hart down. At the end of the day, I bleed Philadelphia. So at the end of the day, I step up for my city. And I understand where our public school system is, and I understand the problems that we're going through. So rather than being a talker, I took it upon myself to take my own money, $250,000 I did. I took it out of my account, and I bought the computers. I didn't want any help. I didn't go after sponsors. So being that somebody came in and stole them, all you do is motivate me to do more and to do it bigger. And at the end of the day, my job is to just give kids hope that are in the same position that I was in, that are coming up in the same community that I was in, to show them that, hey, look, you know what, guys care, people do come back. These guys don't make it out the city and just go on to do whatever. The fact that they still physically see me and they can still talk to me and reach me, that's all I need. I know that I'm reaching somebody and giving them that motivation. Cube, I'm such a good dude.
Yeah, you are a good dude. You are a good dude.
All right, well, listen, the movie is opening up on the 17th. Like I said, it looks hilarious. And as Steve said, we're looking at a franchise, I think. I mean,
it looks that way,
It looks great. It's called Ride Along. Make sure you go check it out. Thank you, Kevin Hart and Ice Cube. Good luck with everything.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it, man.
You bet. Let's hear it, man.
Yeah.
Ice Cube. We got a couple of guests that are in our studio. Fresh from our Acme Lounge.
Yeah. Finally, we're getting to use it.
Yeah, exactly. They have arrived in our studio via the UK, and we actually hung out with them in London. They came by our live broadcast when the Eagles were playing, and we did a few days in London, and they are in town filming for their YouTube series, and they're great people. We love them. Give some love to Joel and Leah.
Thanks for having us.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Yeah. We're good. We're even happier you've used that music.
Yeah. Of course.
Very royal.
Iconic. As soon as it came on, I was like, this is incredible.
Any American show, whenever, and this has been for decades, whenever they go to London or England, there is a stock shot of Big Ben, and that's the music that plays to show the transition. It is almost guaranteed.
They'll show a car going across Tower Bridge, and
and that's it.
The music
every
gets
time.
played.
Oh, I know where we are.
Mhm.
And of course, you'll hear like Paris. You get the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, yeah.
All the stand. Oh, here's where we are.
Yeah, every time. So listen, you guys, when did you get to the States?
Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Kate flew into Philadelphia or New York, or where'd you go?
Yeah, Philadelphia. We got detained. That was
Oh
fun.
my gosh, I told Casey about it. It was, we were terrified. US border control. So scary.
So detained, what did they...
Well, detained might be a bit dramatic, but they took us aside. They took our passports away, took us into secondary questioning.
Oh.
They separated us. They went through all our luggage. They were asking us all these probing
Joel,
questions.
my palms are sweating as we read
I know,
it.
same.
I'm getting, we're so innocent. That's
And
the problem.
they don't smile at you, right? Like
No.
there's no like, don't worry, we're just gonna. It's like you think you're, something. You've
The
done
thing to
something.
do,
Yeah.
and the way to deflect immediately, if you ever get in that situation, is say, we don't have any bombs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
I've heard
and then
that.
they'll react. No, it is a weird thing, and I think a lot of people go through, I know I do. I'm always like, I know that I'm completely, there's nothing, it's clean, but
Yeah,
you're
but
like,
you're
you
nervous.
can't help it when they
Yeah.
start pointing their attention at you, you're going to start getting nervous.
Oh, yeah. I was like, Joel, we need to get our story straight. He was like, what story? we just tell the truth.
If you're not familiar with Joel and Leah, they have this YouTube series, and they do a lot of comparisons to American culture and British culture. And that's where they jumped on our radar because they'll do fun things like sampling food. I watched a video this morning of you, Joel, driving in the United States for the first time.
Yeah.
And that was in Orlando, I think.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Listen, when we went to London, after spending a couple days, or in advance, I'm like, I'm wondering if I could be able to drive here or not. And after spending a couple days, actually 5 minutes, I'm like, no way would I be able to. And London is a major metropolitan area. So being able to drive in, maybe I can pull it off in the country, but in a city, forget it, man.
Really? You think you could do country roads? They are terrifying. They're
Are
so
they?
small and narrow, and you feel like everyone's going to hit you, and it's really scary.
Okay, I'll just write off the whole country.
Anytime. So years ago, we'd gone over when Guinness was giving away, they used to have a promotion where they give away pubs in Ireland. Like you'd get the pub, you'd get the whole business. And so we went over, and I don't think we even drove then, Preston. I think Marilyn's friend drove around.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always thinking of that story years ago when, remember, Matthew Broderick was over, and he was driving with, I think, Aaron, who was
yeah,
from
Jennifer
Gray.
Gray, yeah.
And they were on the wrong side of the road, and they collided with the family, and it was a horrible story.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, because it's such a you've been driving so long here.
Yeah. You've trained your whole life.
My fear is I would just lapse back into the wrong side.
Did you like driving on the right side of the road?
It was scary, and I did start driving with one foot on each pedal because I drive a manual, so an automatic. And Leah was like, "Why is it so jerky?" And she's like, "Have you got a foot on each pedal?" I was like, "Yeah."
We
so
sound like so intelligent on this show.
But it was easy in the end because your roads are wider. I feel like, especially in Florida, people don't get angry. There's so much road rage in the UK, and in Florida, they were just like, "Nah, you cut me up, it's fine."
It's really funny because Brits are quite polite. Well, we're kind of polite-ish. But then on
Not
the
in a car.
road, we have this alter ego where we feel like we can say anything behind the car.
And there probably is road rage here, but just where we were in Florida, they were just.
No, there is.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised to hear that there's a lot in England. Everyone does seem. I mean, obviously, you always make these sweeping generalities. Everyone's so pleasant, but you're saying that's out on the road behind the wheel. It's a different story.
Totally different story.
But you know what? It's probably not scary to you guys because you're just like, oh, you idiot.
Right.
Yeah.
So while you're in the area, how much time are you spending in Philadelphia and filming here?
So, we have 6 days in total.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Which is kind of short, but we're hoping to just do all the touristy stuff. And obviously, we're going to try Philly cheesesteak as well. So we haven't
First
done that yet.
time.
First time. Yeah, so excited.
Philly cheesesteak, you got to try several of them.
Yeah,
Several.
all of them.
You can't. I mean, they're all over the place. And so,
Oh, wow.
But we can point you guys in the right direction if you need some places to go to. Yeah.
When you travel, because when we came over to London, you sort of feel compelled to do the touristy stuff.
Yeah.
But you don't necessarily get a taste of the city or the country when you do that. When you guys travel, do you bang out the touristy stuff and then dive a little deeper, or what's your approach?
It's really funny. Tell them about the love thing.
Well, yeah, so everyone was banging on about the love sculpture here, and like, you need to see it. And then we got there, and it was just like this tiny little love sculpture.
right.
We looked at it and we went, no, surely not.
Surely not.
Surely
but we do try to hit all of the touristy stuff.
Wait, so you didn't like the love statue?
We just went,
thought it'd
no,
be
we've
huge.
not come halfway across the world for that. No, come on.
Like,
Make
it's all
it make
very
sense.
cute. Like, it's nice. Love's great. We love love.
Oh, we love love.
It's just a very small sculpture.
You're right. It's not.
It's unimpressive.
Yeah, it's not like an art masterpiece. As in, wow, how did they make
It's the
that,
word love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's
it's
like-
a nice positive message. It's,
Yeah. We thought, no wonder they detained us at the airport. They don't believe we're tourists. There's nothing to see.
Right. They're just bored. Well, it's like the Liberty Bell, which whenever somebody comes here, I never say go see the Liberty Bell. It's underwhelming. It's a crack bell. I get it, but there's a lot of stuff down there that and we did a thing years ago about people have lived here all their lives and have not seen it. It's just so you will leave, I'm sure, seeing more than a lot of Philadelphians have seen in your 6 days here.
Okay.
Do you guys do all the planning of what you want to do while you're here, or you do it?
So loose planning, don't we? And then most of it's just like make it up as we go along.
And
But
we
we will have a few.
And we get recommendations from our viewers as well. We rely heavily on that because we want to make videos for them. So we're like, well, what do you want to see?
Yeah.
So most of the times it will be all the touristy stuff. And we would like to go off the beaten track, but we don't often have the time to do that.
Well, I think that's the charm, is that you're doing the stuff that everyone says initially would say, I'd like to check that out. So these recon trips where you're going and you come here, and obviously most of what you do is predicated on the differences and similarities. How many times a year, outside of a COVID scenario, would you make the trip to the States?
Yeah, we used to do quite a few, didn't we? Yeah. And then COVID sort of meant that couldn't happen. So, what are we aiming for?
At least
3 or 4.
31 a.m. as we come to the conclusion of a Wednesday. I always like wrapping up a Wednesday, man. Wednesdays are tough.
Yeah.
They're always just for anybody, I think, just that, whatever. I'm always dead-ass tired on Wednesday.
Yeah. I think it's just the extra added stuff around the holidays. But, Wednesdays traditionally, excuse me, one tough one to get over.
But we have arrived, dear friend. We were looking for a number caller for the secret text word, number 12 specifically, and we're going to go to the phones. And we have Scott on the line. Hey, Scott, good morning, buddy.
Hey, Gadzooks.
Gadzooks. Scott, what is our secret text word, please?
It is flare, as in how many pieces of flare are you wearing?
Very well done, sir. That is correct. And Scott, we're going to have you hang on the line. And we're going to set you up with a 5-pack of tickets for you and your 5 Fab friends to attend an evening with the Fab Five 20 years later. I'm loving the Zelda music.
It's great.
This Saturday, December 16th at the Wind Creek Event Center in Bethlehem. And you can relive the magic of a cultural phenomenon that reshaped television, the original Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. And tickets, info available at windcreekeventcenter.com. We want to congratulate Mike Cochran, who is from Drexel Hill. He's a random texter. And we are going to give him that same prize as well. God, how many hours did I sit and listen to this music play over and over and over?
I love this world. I'm excited for the movie they're doing.
Yeah.
Let's see how, I'd be hard-pressed to imagine that real hardcore fans wouldn't be involved with this.
Yeah. So they got to get, it's one they've got to get right for sure. So thank you to our buddy Dave McGrogan for starting this morning. Monterey Prime American Grill. And they're located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, right next to the Aloft Hotel. And some fantastic food, steaks and seafood. They brought in some salmon and crab fried rice. All kinds of good stuff.
Desserts. I want to die.
Yummy. Yeah. Hi, Pierre.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Oh, fine, thank you.
Excellent. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you and all of you.
Yeah.
Yes, everyone.
You hungry? We got lots of food out there.
I need some steak.
All right. Now, they're non... There's vegetarian food out there.
Dave has some great... Did Dave bring the food?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Harvest has great stuff.
Actually, do you eat fish or seafood? Do you any kind of seafood, crab or anything like that?
Nothing with eyes.
Nothing with eyes. Okay. Now, maybe they don't have anything else.
Jellyfish.
Jellyfish is great.
Artichoke. Yes. The
you eat cheese?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not vegans don't eat dairy stuff, but I'm a veg, so I do eat dairy stuff.
Spinach artichoke heart dip, and it's fantastic.
Also, chocolate cake and wine. So
yes. There you go.
Yes. I'll start with the wine.
Yeah.
By noon, I should be in great shape.
Would it be wild if you get bombed and you get absolutely that much more accurate, and suddenly you're just like,
that would be bombed. In fact, that would be because one of our DJs some years ago did one of these things where the highway patrol came in and fed you booze and got you drunk. And the more he drank, the clearer he got.
It was completely converse.
Because he was a big drinker on a regular basis.
Wow.
And every break was more clear than the last one. I'm going, dude, you're supposed to be stuttering and slurring and saying, I love you, everybody. It's like at Christmas parties. One year, Matt Cord and I were at the Christmas party. I don't remember where it was. I said to him, invariably at one of these parties, some employee has a lot to drink and then comes up, throws their arm around you, go, I really love you, man. Yeah. And they do. It's that alcohol sort of unlocks that inner thing because they really do love you. And we're chatting, and I swear to you, no more than 2 or 3 minutes later, Ray Koob comes swaying up. He's a big guy anyway, comes swaying up, puts one arm around me, one arm around Matt, and goes, I love you guys. I go, there you go.
Yeah.
It's what it does.
I think the drinking, office party thing is... I don't think that's a good idea. It's
very dangerous.
When you're around your employers,
Yep.
yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah, it's very dangerous.
All right, sir, can we squeeze a letter out of you?
Squeeze.
Let's do that.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter.
I, as in illegal.
All right, you'll have 3 letters now, 2 to go. We got a stock car racing experience, Pocono Raceway, Christmas right around the corner. Don't give another boring gift. You can put that special someone behind the wheel of a heart-pounding 160-mile-per-hour stock car on the super speedway at Pocono Raceway. Get a gift voucher at 877stockcar.com. That's 877stockcar.com. We'll give that away on Friday. What's happening on today's show?
Well, we've got more tickets for Def Leppard and Journey next summer. We have a Christmas block, as we've been doing each day. Blink-182 for Tom DeLonge's birthday. Block of the Doors. And I forgot to mention this yesterday, but a special announcement. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, we have secured an interview with Miss Dolly Parton.
Oh, that's sensational.
She's got the rock album out.
Yeah.
And Dolly and I will be having some tea and smoking some cigarettes and playing banjo.
Have you ever spoken to her before?
No, I never have.
She is a delight.
I heard her on your guys' show a couple of years back.
One of our favorite interviews.
Just the best.
Really so amazing. And
Yeah.
what was she, who was it? Darlene Love you had on yesterday, who's 82. And
Another
I think
one.
Dolly's in that range. So this gives us hope as we enter our 80s.
Right, yes. Yeah.
Yes,
or as I finish
definitely.
off my 80s.
Right. I'm going into my 1007th. But anyway, Dolly tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
That's fantastic. All right, I'm going to take a moment to thank our sponsors. President Steve Show is brought to you by Meineke for tires, brakes, batteries, exhaust systems, and more. Meineke, you won't pay a lot, but you get a lot. Also brought to you by Duncan. The President Steve Show runs on Duncan. A reminder that Marissa's got that Christmas Miracle Miller Lite pre-party today from 4 to 6 p.m. Marissa will be at Milk Boy in Center City, and she'll be armed with 20 seats to give away for the Preston and Steve Christmas Miracle Live broadcast next week.
And high five her for a job well done today.
I think she did. Amazing job. Casey was out today, so Marissa filled in wonderfully.
You guys make it easy. You're just so awesome. All of you guys.
Well, listen, speaking of awesome, that's all we're doing tomorrow. Nothing but awesome.
Yes.
That's it. We're
Really.
done. Rage on. Have a great day. We'll see you on that awesome program tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.